Now, previously on Reba, what did you call me?
Reba. See, now that we're renters, I don't think it's right for me to be calling you Mrs. H. Oh, and I'm cutting down on my carbs, so keep that in mind, okay, Reba?
Barbara Jean said she saw you in bed with Dad.
What?
Hey, Barbara Jean. I think we should talk.
Yeah, I think so, too.
But could you give me a minute with Reba first?
You want me to leave? Okay, I'll leave. But make it a good minute, Brock. Make sure that at the end of that minute, you figured out whatever it is you need to figure out, because I can't keep living like this.
Brock, go after her. She thinks that you think you made a mistake by leaving me and marrying her and everything. Go tell her she was wrong.
I don't think I can do that.
And why the heck not?
Because I do think I made a mistake.
What?
I said I do think I made a mistake.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
How long have you felt this way?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I feel.
You're not sure? Well, do you feel this? Ow!
What'd you hit me for?
You say marrying Barbara Jean was a mistake and you're not sure?
How can I figure out how I feel if I can't talk about it?
Well, I don't know, but you can't go around blurting stuff out and then decide whether or not you believe it. That's how you got in trouble with our wedding vows.
Don't you want to know why I think I might have made a mistake?
No.
What if I told you you're one of the reasons?
You know what? I couldn't care less what your reasons are, because whatever your reasons are, they come from you. You know what? I do care, and you knew I would. You're despicable, Brock. You go around talking about how much more sensitive you've become, and everything you do causes chaos. This is just another example how your selfishness is tearing everybody else's lives apart.
So you want to hear?
Are you listening to me? I do and I don't want to hear. How much more clear can I be?
Okay, I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna let you two decide my life while I'm sitting in the living room draining the hard candy bowl.
It's okay, Barbara Jean, we're done.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Oh, no. You guys don't get to make the choice. I do. And I've decided I'm leaving.
No, I'm leaving.
I am.
I am.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Barbara Jean, I'm not
1, 2, 3, shoot. Yeah. Rock beats air. I win.
You didn't win, I wasn't playing.
Well, let's play now.
Okay. Paper covers rock. Bye.
Reba, you get back here! You cheated! What are you looking at, old lady? Just walk your dog. Reba!
I'm not sure why I married either one of them.
Are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
I don't get it. So I called your mom Reba. What is the big deal? Why did you have to get so mad? I mean, sure, it's not the greatest name in the world, but... I mean, it's better than, say, Mabel or Floyd.
Floyd? Floyd's a man's name, honey.
Oh, yeah? Tell that to my Aunt Floyd. Hey, maybe I could use her middle name.
It's Nell.
Nell. Nell.
Yeah.
Nellie. Old Neller.
trying to have a private conversation.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out something important here, Kira, if you don't mind.
Thanks.
The answer's once. You only have to lather, rinse, and repeat once.
Why do you always have to cause trouble?
I know, I'm sorry. It's a real character flaw.
Yes, it is. And I wish you told me that 3 bottles of shampoo ago.
I guess I'm just a little upset about, Barbara Jean finding Mom and Dad in bed together.
What?
No way.
That's what Barbara Jean says.
Kira, do not kid about this, okay? Don't try and get us to overreact so you make us look stupid.
Honey, Kira does not have that power over us. Only we can make ourselves look stupid.
Mom, hey, you're back.
Yeah, how's, Mr. H? H as in Mr. Hot.
So, what happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, Ma. So, you were over talking to Barbara Jean. How is she?
How is she? How is she? She's married to Brock. Figure it out.
We were just wondering, Nell.
What did you call me?
I know, it's not working for me either.
Did you need something?
Mom, Kira told us about you and Dad.
All right. Stop it, both of you. That did not happen. And I can't believe you would think anything could happen.
Why not? It's Dad going through his whole midlife crisis part 2. Between him wanting to be a pro golfer and going to therapy and hanging around you all the time, Mom, things have gotten a little weird around here lately.
Well, that doesn't mean anything's going on between us.
Good.
Right. What?
Yeah. You and Dad getting back together will be horrible. In fact, I think it's the worst thing that could possibly happen.
I'm neutral.
Look, Mom, I did want you guys to get back together originally, but once you got over it, you were so much happier. And now there's Barbara Jean, who I've actually grown to like.
Again, I'm neutral.
Mom, you may think this is just about you and Dad, but it's not, okay? It would change things for all of us. I don't want everything to fall apart again. We may be from a broken home, but at least it is still intact. Where are you going?
To clear things up with your father.
Man, she cannot stay away from Mr. Hot.
Hey, Brock, we need to talk.
Actually, I'm a little busy being selfish and causing chaos.
Okay, fine, I deserve that.
Yeah, no kidding. I was trying to tell you something important today.
Well, maybe I'm not ready to hear something important. Maybe I'm not ready to hear you say that your marriage was a mistake or that you still have feelings for me.
I didn't say that.
Said I don't want to hear it. Look, I've got a nice life going, Brock. Everything used to be crazy, one fiasco after the other, and I don't want to go back to that. You're going through a lot right now. You're what my grandma used to call a little tasty in the head.
I've been diagnosed as depressed,
Oh, well, just because you're depressed don't mean you can't have a sense of humor.
Are you done?
All right. All I'm saying is, before you go blurting out anything else, just remember that Barbara Jean loves you with all her heart. There's no accounting for taste, but she does.
Yeah, well, I love her too, Reba. I'm going through something. But don't worry, when Barbara Jean gets back, we'll sit down, we'll have a nice long talk.
Good. I'm sure in a day or two, everything will be the same between you and her. Lucky for you, the simple are forgiving. Hey, Jake, what you doing?
Playing a video game and watching TV. I'm multitasking.
Well, look, since you're here, let me ask you something. Do you think things have been a little messed up around here lately?
It's not my fault. Van did it.
Did what?
Made a big mess in my room and didn't clean it up. Stupid Van.
But that's it? Nothing with Barbara Jean and your dad?
You mean Mr. Hot?
Go clean your room.
Hey, Reba.
Hey.
I just came over to let you know I'm at peace.
Good. What's that like?
I feel like I just walked through a portal and left all my cares and concerns on the other side.
We'll be sure and pick them up on your way out. I don't want a lot of cares and concerns in my front yard.
Oh, you.
Yeah. Well, you're really in a good mood. I guess you talked to Brock.
Oh, not yet.
I think you should.
Oh, I don't need to.
I think you might.
I'm kicking him out.
Oh, you.
I'm serious.
I know, I'm just laughing at my life. So you're really gonna kick Brock out?
Oh, yeah. Bye-bye, Blondie.
I hate to sound judgmental, but you know that's crazy.
No, Reba. Spending last summer learning Portuguese because it was going to be the universal language of the future was crazy. Trying to train bees to eat hamburger out of my hand was crazy. Kicking Brock out is a smart move. Un movimento esperto.
Barbara Jean, I don't get it. This doesn't sound like something you'd do.
I know. Reba, I had a revelation. I was driving around, lonely and feeling sorry for myself, when I went by this church, and it hit me. I wasn't alone in this world.
I know, you're not.
So I asked myself, WWRD, what would Reba do?
Oh, no, Barbara Jean. No. That's a bad question.
Reba, no, it's not. You're the woman Brock respects most in this world, next to Jennifer Garner of Alias.
No, but Barbara Jean, I would not kick Brock out. And if I were in your position, I would march right over there, apologize, and make up to my husband.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Maybe.
Reba, you would kick Brock out until he gets his head on straight, and then maybe, just maybe, you take him back.
Yeah, but I've got anger issues.
Look, Reba, I love my husband, and I don't want to lose him. But I'm not going to settle for he might want me. I'm not going to take whatever he decides to give me. I deserve better than that.
Yeah, you do, Barbara Jean.
Thank you. See? I do know you. I'm in your head. You know what you're gonna do next, don't you?
Ask you to leave so I can go lie down?
Nope. You're gonna give me a hug.
No,
Yeah,
no.
come on, come on, come on.
It was then they realized that neither one of them needed a man.
You guys, guess what? I'm kicking Brock out.
Barbara Jean?
Well, they're gonna find out eventually.
Yeah, but they should know before Brock does.
See? I knew you'd say that.
She's not really kicking him out, is she?
I don't know.
She could. I mean, you know how the old saying goes. If you love something, set it free. Or cripple it so it can't get away. Knock, knock. Hey, Kira, you doing the dishes?
Hey, Van, you're bothering me.
No, it's just you're doing a chore. Never thought of you as the type that helps.
So, you doing this whole cleaning uppy thingy because all the tension around here?
Nah, I just want to soak in this detergent so my hands will be youthful again.
Oh, Kira, sweet, sweet, vulnerable Kira. Clean dishes won't keep Daddy at home.
What is wrong with you? Specific to this moment.
Are you saying there's no tension around here? Barbara Jean didn't just come back here and kick Dad out?
What?
Yeah, she was just over at Reba Nell's. She was screaming and throwing stuff, swearing she was gonna set him free or cripple him.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was pretty dramatic.
Well, I haven't seen Barbara Jean in a couple hours. Do you think that's a good sign?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe she just needed some time to think about it. She'll come back here when she feels better, and Dad will never have to find out.
Find out what?
Dad!
Van, Cheyenne, so what happened? Did she do it?
Did she do what? Something is obviously going on, but they won't tell me what it is.
Brock, I don't think I should be the one to tell you.
'Cause it's big, man. It is big.
Reba, if it's big and it involves who I think it might, you know, a little advance warning might help me to prepare.
Oh, boy.
Reba, please?
Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But one of these days, I'm gonna get remarried. I'm gonna stick you in these situations.
Okay.
Reba?
Barbara Jean came over earlier and she said she's gonna ask you to leave.
What?
Yeah.
Why would she say that? That doesn't sound like her. That sounds like you.
I know it! I can't help it. She's in my head.
All right, let's just hold on a second here. I mean, did you ever stop and think that maybe she was just trying to impress you? Maybe this is just the kick in the pants that we need to start addressing our issues.
There you go.
Yeah, Barbara Jean just needs to know that I still want to work on our marriage. Everything else will take care of itself from there.
Dad, Barbara Jean's at home. She says she wants to see you.
She does? Oh. Well, that's great. You know what? This silliness has gone on long enough.
Did y'all get all that?
Yep. And you know what? I think Dad's right. He's gonna go over there and talk to her, and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to be married to Mr. H? Oh, yeah. My bad.
Well,
It was great. Yeah. Yeah, we sat down, had a long heart-to-heart, and then she kicked me out.
Well, you're a strong man. You'll get through this. You did with me. I'm sorry. You okay?
Well, I will be.
Come on in. I'll get a couple of beers.
Thanks, Reba.
They're for me. You can't drink. You're gonna have to drive to a cheap motel.
I still don't know why I married either one of them.
Oh, sorry I'm late, guys. I got a new bag boy down at the grocery store. He's 72. He carried my bags out to the car, and then I had to carry him back to the store. Is Kara here yet?
Oh, no, she called. She said she's not gonna make it to your dinner.
Again? That's the third time this week. What's going on over there?
Hey, Mrs. H, quick question for you. If you want to go duck hunting, do you have to have your own gun? Or can you just wait for them to land and then go after them with a hammer?
What in the name of dirt and worms are you talking about?
We're trying to come up with stuff to do with Barbara Jean, you know, ever since Dad moved into their old condo. We don't want her to sit around and get depressed.
Yeah, I think hunting is good when you're depressed.
Look, when I went through my separation, I hated it when people thought that keeping me busy was gonna make me happy.
You know what? Maybe you're right.
Too bad. I got a great duck call. Hey, ducks!
Look, the best we can do is be supportive. Let Barbara Jean work through her emotions. She's gonna look like heck and feel like heck, and it's gonna be okay with us.
Cheyenne. I need to borrow your pearl earrings. Well, geez, who died?
Pirates are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Oh, I tell you, I am undergoing a personal renaissance. Seeing old friends, going to movies, playing miniature golf.
You dress like that playing miniature golf?
Only if I don't want to pay. Honestly, Reba, I have to say, if I had known asking Brock to leave was going to help me grow so much as a person, I would have dumped him at our wedding.
Barbara Jean, you don't have to put on a show for us. It would be completely understandable if you felt depressed. I mean, shoot, even I felt depressed.
Yeah, but you're the one who got left. See, Reba, I told Brock to leave, so for me, this is a chance to really find out who I am. I mean, people only see me as Brock's wife or Henry's mom or, when I was younger, the girl the lifeguards invite into the lifeguard shack. But now, I have an opportunity to find the real Barbara Jean.
That is very inspirational, Barbara Jean. You should write a self-help book. You could call it Knock Knock, Who's There? Me. Good, because I've been looking for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Barbara Jean, I brought you 2 pairs because I wasn't sure which one you'd like better.
Ooh, I'll take one of each. If I wear 2 different earrings, people will think I'm eccentric.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what they'll think.
Ooh, and you know, I know this goes without saying, but the stuff we talked about is confidential. You know, I'm sure Brock is just constantly hitting you guys up for information about me. Yeah,
You
let's
bet.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you.
Wait a minute. Do you know what I just realized?
The Barbara Jean's an earring hog.
This is the reason Kira's been canceling our mother-daughter dinners.
Because Barbara Jean has been bringing her food from the miniature golf course.
No, Barbara Jean's been running around with who knows who while Kira's home babysitting Henry. Do you know what she is? She's a Kira hog.
No, wait, hang on, Mom. You have absolutely no proof that that's what's going on.
I don't need proof. I've got intuition. And my mother's intuition tells me something is wrong. I gotta speak to your daddy about this whole situation.
But it was so funny because me and my best friend, Ryan Holloman, I mean, he's not my best friend. He's like my best friend at recess. Except for Daniel Cortines, who's my best friend at recess. Except he might move to Dallas, but maybe not. But he does like the Dallas Cowboys, but I don't. I like the Texans like you, but it was so funny because all
Jake.
of a sudden...
Actually, I changed my mind. You can watch TV upstairs.
I'll tell you the end of the story at dinner.
Yeah.
Hey, Brock.
Hey.
Oh, I remember this color. Separation yellow.
Yeah, the guys down at the paint store just call it Brock.
So you okay?
No, I'm fine. I mean, the first couple of days I was a little stunned, but I've been working with my therapist, and we both felt like the healthiest thing for me to do was to focus on the things I can control instead of dwelling on the things I can't. Plus, she upped my meds.
Yeah, sounds like you're doing great. You know what's not great? Kira canceled dinner on me.
Oh, well, she's probably busy.
Oh, you know what? You could be right. She might be busy. Good point. You always make good points. That's why I like to talk to you so much.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Oh, something's up. You just said you like talking to me.
Yeah, I knew I never could pull that one off. It's just that I've got this feeling about Kira.
Oh, no. We're not going to start talking about your famous mother's intuition, are we? Because I was lying before. She didn't really up my meds.
Brock, listen to me. I know you're gonna flip out when I tell you this, but it's important. Barbara Jean's been going out every night, seeing her friends and going to movies and stuff.
What? She's going to the movies? And you're telling me this and not the cops? Come on, what's the big deal?
The big deal is that Kira's stuck watching Henry while Lulu's out playing putt-putt.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that's not true.
Oh, really? Well, do you have mother's intuition?
No, I have Henry.
What? You mean Henry's here?
Yeah, he's taking a nap. Been with me all week. I mean, I felt like I need to spend a little extra time with him during this. You know, he's a lot quieter than Jake.
Well, then what in the heck's going on with Kira?
Nothing. I talked to her 3 times today, and she's great. But I realize that my reassurance is no match for your super powerful mother's intuition.
I don't know what it is, but I just can't shake the feeling that something's going on.
Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this.
What?
But when something's going on at my house,
Yeah.
the evidence is always under the sofa cushion.
Knock it off.
I'm just saying. Go on, Reba, pop in on him. It'll put your mind at ease.
I'm not gonna do that, Brock, because when you say pop, you mean snoop, and I don't snoop, Brock. I'm not the snooping, popping in kind of person.
Oh, Dad, I just saw this commercial, and it was so funny. There was this dog, but it wasn't like a dog. It was like Daniel Cortinez's dog, but he doesn't have it anymore because it ran away. But it was so funny.
Jake, I got a story, too. And it's so funny. Yeah, I was playing golf the other day, and I had like 90 yards into the green, but I didn't have my 9-iron with me. So I had to like take my sand wedge. Okay, it was a really cool shot. And this is like the really funny part. Yeah. That's right.
Hey. So, hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah, sorry about canceling dinner.
No big deal. You're probably busy.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Mom, you're acting a little weird. What's wrong?
I don't know exactly. Just got this, feeling.
Oh, no. Mother's intuition.
You know what? People should stop making fun of my intuition. Because if it wasn't for my mother's intuition, we would have never found that Joe's Burger Barn when we were camping in Lubbock.
Out of all the barns we've eaten in, that was the nicest.
I don't know. I just got the feeling that something's screwy around here.
Everything's fine.
I don't think it is. I think it's weird. What with Barbara Jean going out all the time.
That? No, it's fine, okay? Everything's under control.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know what she's doing and where she's going and what kind of people she's hanging out with.
Look, Mom, I can't talk about this. We were just about to go out. See you later.
Oh, hold on right there. Look, I think Barbara Jean's a good person. I really do. But I also know that she's easily influenced. I mean, if she's hanging out with the wrong kind of people, who knows who she could turn into?
Hey, Reba.
Barbara Jean was dressed like Kira.
Oh, yeah. Buckle for buckle.
Wow. That must have looked like a ventriloquist with her dummy.
This is so sad. Kira dresses horribly.
That's not the worst part.
Same shoes.
No, when Brock left, Kira seized power. And Kira's never been good with power. Remember the time when I had to go to the store and I had Kira watch Jake? And by the time I got back, she had changed his name to Philip?
You know, though, he looks like a Philip.
I think it's just best if she moves back home.
That is never going to happen, Mom. Come on, she's living every teenager's dream. She's running the house. The person who used to be the parent is now basically like a roommate that can drive.
You know, that's probably why she's been canceling all those dinners. I mean, why come over here when she can do whatever she wants over there? Starting to wonder what we're doing over here.
This is a mess. This whole Brock moving out thing was dumb. Now it's getting even dumber.
Well, what are you gonna do, Mrs. H? Can you force her to move back here?
Well, I don't want to do anything rash if it's only going to be a day or two, but I'll have to do something if this foolishness gets worse and Brock, God forbid, decides to move out permanently.
Wait a minute, you don't think that could really happen, do you?
Happened to me.
You know what this is? This is screwed up.
Oh, honey, don't worry. Your dad will be back eventually. Soon he'll get tired of all that peace and quiet.
It's not funny, Van.
I didn't mean anything.
I know.
He's gonna go back, isn't he?
You know what, Van? I used to be able to read Brock like a book. Of course, it was a fiction book, but nevertheless, I could read it. Lately, I just can't do it.
Hey.
You're right.
Right about what?
It doesn't matter. All that matters is I was right.
Do me a favor, would you? Pretend that I came over to borrow something. I just need a little break from chatty Jake.
So how's the condo coming along?
Actually starting to look pretty good.
When you gonna rent it out again?
Oh, I don't know. We'll just have to see how things go.
You are gonna rent it out again, right?
Like I said, Reba, we'll just have to see how things go.
You want my opinion?
No.
Well, that's never stopped me before. Brock, what you need to do is stop all this silliness. Do whatever you have to do, but get back into that house.
You know, my therapist says working on the marriage is a lot like fixing up the condo. If I'm gonna do it right, I have to do it all the way. So I'm not gonna stop until this job is done.
Well, maybe you need to tell your therapist that there's a difference. You're living in your condo while you're fixing it up. Maybe you need to live in your marriage, too.
Okay, I'll pass that right along.
All right, hold it just a second. Just give me an idea how long this little game of yours is
Stop
gonna go
calling
on.
it a little game or silliness. This is the most serious thing in my life right now, okay?
Okay.
Hey, there you are. Glad I found you. Not so glad I found you on your angry bench. Look, Cheyenne, I wasn't making light of what's going on with your
Van,
dad and
does
Barbie.
marriage mean anything?
What marriage? Our marriage?
No, any marriage. Just marriage. Saying that you're gonna be with one person forever.
Well, yeah, of course it does.
Does it? I mean, really, Van, or is it just like when you're a kid and you say your favorite candy's Reese's Pieces, and then you go to a candy store and you pick up a box of Raisinets, and then someone comes up to you and they say, hey, I thought your favorite candy was Reese's Pieces, and you say, I thought so too, but you're standing there with a box of Raisinets in your hand.
What are you saying? That you would pick Raisinets over Reese's Pieces?
I'm trying to be serious.
I know, babe. You're just upset. And you're upset because of something that happened between Barbara Jean and your dad. Well, guess what, Cheyenne? You and I are not them. She's kind of an airhead and he's kind of a big goof. We're not them.
We're not, are we?
No. I don't know what marriage means to them or to anybody else. But does marriage mean something to you and me? Of course it does. You know what it means? It means you're the only piece of candy I even see in the store. I'll unwrap you. Philip.
Van?
Hey,
Hey,
I'm here because I need you to do something, even though you're not going to want to do it.
do what?
I want you to move back home.
Mom, no.
Kara, honey, your dad and Barbara Jean's separation is going to go on for a while. I mean, it could go on for a long time.
Okay, fine, but why does that have to disrupt my life? Why is it that every time parents mess up their lives, the kids are the ones that get jerked around?
Okay, cut the drama, okay? I know why you're not wanting to move home, Kira. You're in charge. You're living every teenager's dream over here.
Dream?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely every teenager's dream to have their stepmom dress like them. And if it can possibly be in the mall where all her friends can see it, why, that's the very best dream of all.
Well, then I don't get it. Why do you want to stay here?
Kira, honey, where are you?
Mom, can we talk about this later, please? I'll come over later, I promise.
Oh, hey, Kira.
Hey.
You know, I don't know if I feel like going to the park. I just feel kind of blah. Maybe I'll just watch some TV.
No. We told Henry we're going, and now he's all excited. You'll feel way better once we get out in the fresh air, okay?
Well, I guess since we did tell Henry. Okay. Hey, maybe we could hit the mall afterwards. We could both get that mesh top we saw last time.
The mall.
Yeah, I love going to the mall now. The salespeople are starting to recognize us.
Sure, Barbara Jean, we can do that.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Kira,
Yeah.
during this thing, I don't know what I'd do without you.
You'd probably dress like Henry.
You. There's a sense of humor that keeps me going.
So that's why you're staying here.
The first couple of days after Dad left, she made a big deal about all the people she was seeing and all the stuff she was doing. She'd get all dressed up, but
After she left, I'd see her in her car at the end of the block. Then she stopped even pretending. She'd just sit around in her sweats, order pizza, and watch TV.
Oh, man, that's what I did.
It was getting bad. So I just started asking her to do things with me. Go to record stores, go to the mall.
So you've been babysitting Barbara Jean. Which means technically my mother's intuition was correct.
Kind of like Joe's Burger Barn. Everything was fine until the other day. I was looking at a pair of pants when I heard the chilling words, "I wonder if they have that in my size."
Okay, I need to tell you two things. First of all, you are a beautiful, wonderful child.
Maybe he just raised me right. Also, I watch a lot of Seventh Heaven.
And the second thing is, sweetheart, you are a 15-year-old girl. It's not your job to try to fix the problems of a bunch of grown-ups.
She needs me, Mom. Nobody ever needed me before.
I don't know.
You said the separation might go on for a while.
Yeah.
You know what? I think so too. But I don't think Barbara Jean thinks so. If I move out, it's like we're all saying Dad is never coming back.
Oh, Kira. If this is gonna happen, I wanna see you. I wanna talk to you a lot. And I want you to be honest with me about how things are going.
I will be, I promise.
Okay. Cute top. Wonder if they make that my size.
Mom, thanks for coming. She's been like this all day.
What's wrong?
She's really depressed. She just lies there. She doesn't eat, she doesn't talk. She just keeps playing that stupid flute.
Poor thing. Good thing she didn't get that banjo she wanted.
I don't think she realized how hard it was gonna be after she kicked Dad out.
Yeah, I know. I made it look like fun. I'll talk to her. Barbara Jean,
Oh, hey, Reba.
what's wrong?
I don't know. I woke up this morning with no man, no career, no future. I'm stuck at home with the kids. My life has turned into yours. It's horrible.
Barbara Jean, you need to get off that couch.
I can't. My entire backside is numb.
My bad. I was supposed to roll her over.
Barbara Jean, you just can't lie around moping about Brock. You need to do something to make you feel good about yourself.
Well, it might be fun to go out.
Yeah?
Maybe to a bar. It's been a while since I've been in a room full of drunken men that just want to take advantage of me. That makes me feel good about myself.
Barbara Jean, you can't do that. You're a married woman.
I'm a separated woman, and I'm not gonna do anything. I just wanna flirt and feel attractive again. Will you go with me?
I got a great idea. Why don't I just tell you you look nice and then put you in a cab?
Reba, you have to go with me. You know, because of the two-girl theory.
Never heard of it.
We have a two-girl theory at school, but it's about the girls' field hockey team.
When a woman goes to a singles bar alone, she looks like a loser. Therefore, she attracts only losers.
Oh, that's ridiculous. When I was young, I went to bars. Okay, tell me about your theory.
When two women go out together, they attract the hot men because they don't scream, "Love me, we're desperate." You know, unless they actually do scream, "Love me, we're desperate." Which, trust me, does not work.
Oh, well, since you put it that way, no. I'm going home.
I don't know, Mom. Maybe you should go with her. Going to a crowded bar might be the kind of boost she needs.
Can't you go with her?
Remember you said if I got overwhelmed with Barbara Jean, you'd help?
Kira, honey, I didn't mean that. Fine. Okay, Barbara Jean, I'll go with you just once.
Oh, sweet! This is gonna be super fun! This is gonna be outrageous and off the hook. Can I get a woo-woo?
What are you gonna wear?
A disguise.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
Honey, why are you in such a rush?
We gotta get her breakfast and get out of here. Your mom spent an entire evening with Barbara Jean. She's gonna be in a foul mood.
Honey, why couldn't you have waited 30 seconds to eat?
Why can't you cook?
Good morning, Cheyenne. Good morning, Van.
What is that?
You seem like you're in a cheerful mood.
Oh, I had a great time with Barbara Jean last night. That is one funny gal.
Oh, Grandma's still drunk.
Oh, and you know that two-girl theory, Barbara Jean? It really does work. And she's like a guy magnet. I mean, it's just like taking a giant puppy in there, those big eyes of hers. Plus, when you do this, she looks every time.
What are you looking for?
I know it's silly, but I had a bunch of napkins with telephone numbers written on them. Thought I'd put them in my purse.
Okay, Kira, you're on.
Mom. Look what Barbara Jean made you.
Reba's cocktail napkin scrapbook. Look at this. These are all the guys that want Reba bad. I've organized them by hunkosity, but there's an index in the back that's alphabetical.
Barbara Jean, I can't believe you did all this.
Yeah, well, the alphabetizing wasn't all her.
Here's that neurologist number.
Dr. Bob, oh, he was cute.
Yeah, and quite a hiney.
Oh, not as good as Joe the fireman's.
Oh, no. They've discovered boys. Hey, I know him.
Hey, Van, can I borrow $10? I want to take a cab to school.
Can't you see I'm fixing my fish?
Fine, but I'll have to tell Mom how you got me in trouble at school.
Oh, like I could do that. I'm not even in your school.
Remember that stuff you told me? You know, the talk.
What talk?
Van gave me the talk, and I told everybody else.
Van gave you the talk?
Well, I told him in confidence. Our next talk is a little something called keeping your mouth shut.
Jake, go to school. Van and I need to discuss this.
Fine, but what are you gonna say that Van hasn't already told me?
Really?
do stuff like that. That is for a parent to do.
Well, I feel sorry for him. He doesn't have a dad.
He does have a dad.
I keep forgetting.
Honey, you have to tell Mom exactly what you told Jake, everything.
Why would I do that? She'll kill me.
Van, it's the responsible thing to do. What if someone gave Elizabeth the talk?
I'm not gonna do it.
I am serious. I'm going to be so mad.
Not afraid of you. Afraid of your mother.
I have never had so much fun trolling for men.
Barbara Jean, we weren't trolling. They were jumping in the boat.
Oh, yeah! Oh, Reba, you and I make a great team. Hey, we should have team jerseys made up. We could call ourselves the two girls, and guys would come over and say, what does that mean, the two girls? And I'd say, I'm not telling. And then they'd say, what's your name, sugar? And I'd say, I'm Barbara Jean, and this is Reba. And then we would meet every eligible man in town, and then everybody would know us, and we'd have a huge reputation.
That sounds great, but no shirts and no reputation.
Reba, if we go into a bar without shirts, we're going to have a reputation.
Hey, Reba, have you seen Barbara Jean? So where were you last night?
You know, I saw. You know, doing something.
Doing what? I thought we had plans.
What is with all the questions, Brock? This is like CSI Miami.
Barbara Jean, we
Oh,
were...
I can't hear you. Huh? Detective, forensic, David Caruso.
What was that all about?
Barbara Jean was supposed to meet me for marriage counseling last night. Instead, she was out bar hopping.
How'd you know that?
Oh, this golf buddy of mine is one of the bartenders over at the Blue Lounge. Yeah, he said she was cruising with some slutty friend.
Well, maybe your bartender friend should stop criticizing his customers and learn how to make a pink squirrel. And I'm sure the woman was perfectly lovely.
Well, who cares about her? She's probably just some old tramp. No, the point is, Barbara Jean skipped our counseling session, which I find really selfish and inconsiderate. I mean, I'm sitting there paying some guy $100 an hour to feel like a fool. You have no idea what that's like.
Oh, well, not to nitpick, but actually I do. Right when we were separated, there were lots of times that you didn't show up for our counseling.
Well, that's different. I didn't go then because ours was all about you blaming me for every little thing.
Brock, I spent hours with that therapist trying to save our marriage, but you were off with Barbara Jean. Well, guess what? Now I'm off with Barbara Jean. What do you think about that?
You were out with Barbara Jean?
Yes! I'm the slutty friend. Surprise! Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go put on my war paint. Because Barbara Jean and I are going to go out manhunting. Oh. Can I get a woo-woo? Jake's asleep, and I'm going out. Cheyenne, does this outfit make me look slutty?
No, of course not. You look really nice.
Thank you.
This is age. Ba 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 boom.
I'm changing.
Van, did you tell Mom yet?
Tell me what?
Don't do it, Cheyenne.
Van told Jake the facts of life.
Betrayal!
He did what?
Mm-hmm. He gave Jake the talk about the facts of life, but he didn't want to tell you. But I thought it was my duty as a responsible adult.
Well, this is a surprise.
Go after her, Mom. She's scared of you.
Well, Van, all I can say is thank you.
What?
What?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was really easy telling my little girls about it, but I think a boy should hear it from a man.
Excuse me for a minute. You know, I can't take all the credit. 2 dogs across the street brought up the subject.
I can't believe you're glad he did this.
It was the responsible thing to do, Cheyenne.
How did he take it?
Oh, he loved it. He was laughing. We were high-fiving. It was awesome.
You kept it age appropriate, right?
Absolutely. Nothing graphic or anything. I just explained that it was like, you know, wrestling with his buddies, but with girls. And then once you've done it, it's all you ever want to talk about.
But Van, he's a kid. You were supposed to keep it technical and boring. Wrestling makes it sound fun.
No, don't worry. I didn't make it sound fun. I don't even think of it like that.
Excuse me?
Oh, I mean, it's fun with you, honey, just not with other people.
What other people?
Other people do it, Cheyenne. Just take a look around the mall.
Okay, why don't you just tell me what you said to him?
Why? I did it right. All right, look, if it'll make you feel better, I'll talk to him again and tell him it's no fun. In fact, I'll tell him it's a lot of pressure and a lot of work, and sometimes I'd just rather read.
We'll talk about this later. Endlessly.
I don't want you to talk to him. I just need to determine if I need to talk to him.
It's no big deal, Mrs. H. We started with the dogs, and I segued from them to the birds and the bees. But not for long, because to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know anything about how the birds and the bees do it. Except if they're doing it when they're flying, it's probably dangerous. It's why you probably see birds smashing into windows all the time.
Yeah, thank you. I've just determined that I do need to talk to him.
Hey, he's your kid.
Yeah.
Hey, Mrs. H. By the way, I told him I kind of invented it. So.
I rate that guy a 5. Now he's an 8.
Why are you writing your phone number on all those napkins? Trying to beat the rush?
Yeah, because after a couple of Jell-O shots, my name looks like Robo. Ooh, they're cute.
Yeah.
Make the puppy eyes.
Come on, Reba. They're not looking at my eyes.
Make the puppy eyes.
Oh, all right.
Hey, I know you. We work in the same medical building. I'm Paul. I'm a surgeon on the 3rd floor.
Oh, well, that's my mistake, because I've been getting all my surgery up on the 2nd floor.
You guys like Jell-O shots? Huh?
Sure, yeah.
We'll be right back then.
Thanks.
Reba, we should do this every Thursday night.
Yeah, but then we'd only be getting the Thursday night crop. There's a whole week's worth of men to be harvested out here.
Yeah, but I need something to do on Thursdays. That's my marriage counseling night with Brock. Ugh, he just makes it miserable for me.
Yeah, been there. I bet he's all, hey, don't blame me. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm Brock. I'm Mr. Perfect.
No, he's more like, we need to talk about our feelings. We need to work on this thing together.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He's become really earnest. And not the funny Ernest that went to camp.
But you know, that don't sound like the Brock that I know. That sounds like somebody who's trying.
Yeah, trying my nerves. Good one, Barbara Jean.
You know, Barbara Jean, this could be the Jell-O talking, but don't you think you're being a little hard on him?
Hard on him? Reba, this is hard on me. I mean, one day he decides he's not happy with his life. Try not to take that personally.
Yeah, but it sounds like he's not stopping there. It sounds like he's trying to do something about it. I think the counseling will help.
Well, maybe I don't want to help. Maybe I want him to know what it feels like to be left twisting in the wind.
Are you doing this to punish him?
That and cutting tiny little holes into all of his socks.
All right, here we go, ladies.
You know what? We just quit drinking.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. This woman is married and her husband is emotionally unstable. Now shoot.
Reba, what did you do that for?
Look, Barbara Jean, nobody blames you for being hurt. But when you got married, you made a commitment. Now here you are out having a good time, avoiding all the issues, instead of giving it your all and trying to save your relationship.
Reba, this is my marriage. And maybe I don't want to fix it.
Okay, but that's a decision you need to make somewhere where they're not serving booze that jiggles. Now let's go.
Fine. But I'm still cutting holes in his socks.
Actually, I'm single. Have a good day, honey. Hey, how's about we keep those dogs in the backyard?
You know what's funny? You never see cats doing that.
What you need, Brock?
Well, I wanted to apologize for being such a jerk.
Which time?
The most recent one. Barbara Jean called this morning and she said that you talked to her about therapy. That means a lot to me.
Has Barbara Jean agreed to go with you?
She's not sure. She'll think about it. Man, I hope she does.
You really are trying, aren't you?
Harder than anything in my life. Just wish I didn't have to do it alone.
Know how that feels. You know, Brock, when we were going through our separation, I thought I'd hate you for the rest of my life. But now that you're going through it, I feel bad for you. And I'm sorry. I really am.
I'm sorry too, Reba.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, that was, well, all I can say is my shrink is gonna have a field day with this.
What do you mean?
You know, the feelings you have for me.
I don't have feelings for you, Brock. I said I know what you're going through. That's called empathy.
Come on, Reba, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You felt it.
Felt what?
You know, a spark.
A spark? Of all the egotistical, I show you one moment of kindness, and you have the gall.
Whoa, I'm detecting a lot of anger here, Reba.
You think?
You know, excessive anger always covers hidden feelings.
Oh, well, that may very well be. But I'm not hiding my feelings. Watch. I need a Jell-O shot.
Me.
We're on a limited budget, Cheyenne. Just because the diapers say disposable doesn't mean you can't use them twice.
What's going on?
Oh, Van's being all cheap again because he's waiting for the team to renew his contract.
What's your agent say?
I don't know. Let me ask him. Van, what do you think about trying to get more money? Gee, Van, I think it's best not to rock the boat. He says it's best not to rock the boat.
Man, you can't be your own agent. The team won't take you seriously.
What if I use a fake accent on the phone? That offers a bloody insult. Can you give us 2 more quid for the trolley?
Hey, you know what? I could negotiate your deal. Why, just yesterday I cried my way out of a ticket.
Are you both out of your minds? Van, you need a professional. A football career won't last forever, and you need to get all the money you possibly can now.
All right, fine. I'll get a real agent.
Good. Let Brock be your agent. I swear I have to tell everybody to do everything all the time, and I'm getting sick of it. Sick!
That one's got a right hairy temper, she does.
My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I wanna be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
Oh, shoot, Lori Ann. I was looking forward to seeing you. No. If he left the priesthood for you, the least you could do is go to Jamaica with him. Yeah, okay. Call me when you get back. Bye.
Lori Ann's not flying in?
No, I had so much I needed to talk to her about.
Well, you can talk to me.
Oh, thanks, Cheyenne, but most of it was about you, and you tend to take your side.
Hey, Mom. Hey, girl in blonde jokes. Let me tell you something about red hair, Kira. You're lucky Mom's here.
Congratulate me. The top agent in my league might represent me.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Why might?
Yeah, what's the catch?
Well, she won't represent prom athletes, so her big thing is to meet the family and check them out.
Wait. So she's gonna judge us? I hate being judged. I love judging. You better give me plenty of warning before this woman comes over.
She'll be here in 2 hours.
What? Just deciding what to wear takes 2 hours. Hold all my calls. I'll be in my closet.
Don't worry, Van. We'll make you proud.
Proud? Look around this place, buddy. You live with the divorced mother of your teenage bride due to pregnancy, whose dad ran off with his dental assistant, also with child. I may claim to be pregnant just to fit in.
She's right. We're practically circus people.
Practically? Put Barbara Jean in a tiny car and we can sell tickets.
Jake, why are you wearing last year's church suit?
Van told me I had to dress up if I wanted to come out of my room so I wouldn't make him look bad. Who looks bad now?
Where's your new suit?
Remember for Halloween, how I asked if I could be a businessman who got stabbed 1,000 times, but you said no? Well, I kind of already made the costume. I'm sending myself to my room now.
So, how do I look?
Cheyenne, my agent's a woman. Put those away.
Guys, just calm down. Everything's gonna be fine. Here we go.
Is the sports agent here? Oh, Van, this is so exciting. Jerry Maguire is my favorite movie ever. I have written Tom Cruise over 1,500 letters.
Mrs. H, the circus is in town.
Barbara Jean, I'm sure the agent just wants to meet the family.
I am family, and I would never miss a family meeting, especially when I'm all alone over there in that great big house, Kira off at a concert, walls closing in, bottle of Jack calling my name.
Yes, Ted, I'm sure it's a very, very nice offer. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'll take it home and put it in the bottom of my bird cage. No, listen to me, Ted. It's very simple. My client makes your fans happy, and happy fans buy tickets and pay for parking and enjoy that expensive tinkle water that you call beer. I'll get back to you. I'm so sorry. Sadie Owens.
Reba Hart. I'm Van's mother-in-law.
That was awesome. Tinkle water. Oh, that's my wife, Cheyenne.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Barbara Jean Hart. Hey, Reba and I have the same last name because I married her ex, Brock. We're currently separated, but his teenage daughter, Kira, still lives with me, even though Brock moved out. He's on pills.
So, should we all sit down?
Oh, please sit. Yes, yes, yes.
So this is my home. These are my peeps.
Sadie, I just love that Jerry Maguire. When Cuba Gooding Jr. asked Tom Cruise if he shoplifted the pootie, I about spit up.
Yeah, it was a great film. Now, do you mind if I get to know the other people here?
Right.
Sadie, if you're wondering what kind of guy Van is or what his family's like, well, I can assure you we're not perfect, but we do have lots of love.
As a matter of fact,
She said zip it!
So, Sadie. Oh, I just love that name. How do you spell that? With a Y or an IE?
I don't think anyone spells it with a Y.
So with an IE?
Knock it off, Cheyenne. What do you care how she spells it?
Will you ask her something, Van?
I will. So how long you been spelling it that way?
You threw me over.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Barbara Jean.
Brock.
Mr. H, I'm so glad you're here. This is Sadie Owens.
Brock Hart.
Hi.
So, wow. A woman sports agent, huh?
Yes, you know, women have made great strides in the last 100 years.
Great. Between you and your daughter, you're killing me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that, for a while I thought I might represent Van.
Oh, are you an agent?
I'm a pro golfer. And a part-time dentist.
Oh, you're the one on the pills.
Isn't he hilarious? Don't you just want to laugh at him?
We have company judging us.
Barbara Jean, just because we're not living together doesn't mean we can't be civil.
Ooh, Sadie, could you move the table? I'm gonna roll around with laughter.
Why are you being so hostile? You're the one who asked me to move out.
Oh, and you just sprinted towards the door, didn't you, big fella?
Barbara Jean, Mr. H, kitchen, now, so we can celebrate how well this is all going.
Somebody's put on a few in the keister.
Oh, yeah, doesn't stop you from looking at it, does it?
No, look at it!
Cheyenne, why don't you tell Sadie how you're studying to become a dentist?
Oh, yeah. Just really want to help teeth. I'm sorry. I'm just really nervous, and I'm trying really hard not to say the wrong thing, but I keep saying the wrong thing. Van should have never gotten me pregnant and married at 17. Oh, my God! I did it again.
Well, those are his peeps.
Look, I don't expect any family to be perfect. I have kids and an ex-husband and a crazy family of my own.
Yeah, but you hadn't met all of them. Our other daughter, Kira, she lives with her dad.
Well, I have a daughter who lives with her father, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I miss her like crazy, but she makes his life so miserable that somehow it all evens out.
We really do have a lot in common. You know, I was just saying this morning how I miss having somebody I can relate to. It gets lonely sometimes.
Well, tell me about it. I started talking to my bird. But you, I mean, I don't understand how you can be lonely.
Well, you know, my girlfriend, she moved away, and she was supposed to come visit this weekend, but she had to cancel because she's in this new relationship.
Well, maybe you'll meet someone new.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Hey, you know what? Maybe you and I could get together sometime and hang out.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. You know, this is wild because this is actually what I've sort of been hoping would happen ever since I switched teams.
Teams? But if you're an agent, how can you...
Not sports teams.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a divorce and then I realized I'm gay.
Oh.
It's just another thing we have in common.
Oh.
No, it's okay. No, Van already told me you were gay. Oh.
So Van told you I was gay?
Was he not supposed to? I'm sorry. I mean, he was so upfront about it. Well, the truth is, he said you were super gay.
He did he? Oh, he always was a talkative little poot. Yeah, just talk. Could you excuse me just for a second? Let me ask you a question, Van. Why did you tell Sadie I was gay?
What?
I never said that. Why would I say that?
Did you tell her I was super gay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to. It was just Sadie and I were talking about our favorite cities, and I said I really like Lubbock. And she mentioned San Francisco, and I wanted to sound clever and make a joke, but I don't know anything about San Francisco but cable cars and gay people. So I made a joke about gay people, and it wasn't funny, apparently, because she looks at me kind of offended and says, Van, I'm gay. Do you have a problem with gay people? I'm like, no, not at all. My mother-in-law's super gay. I love you, man.
Sadie is gay? This top is perfect. She probably hasn't even heard a word I've said.
You're gonna go right in there right now and tell her the truth.
Wait, Mrs. H, if she knows I lied, she'll refuse to represent me. Believe me, lesbians do not find this kind of thing funny.
They really don't.
And Mrs. H, if she doesn't represent me, then all the other agents will think there's something wrong with me. And then who will be my agent then? The golfing dentist with the bad accent?
I can't keep rationing diapers, Mom. And I want things. Shiny, fancy things.
Maybe you could just go with it for a few minutes.
Yeah, come on, Reba. What's a few minutes?
Yeah, just don't go to Massachusetts, Reba. They're making them get married.
It's a little more complicated than just fibbing about it for a few minutes. I may have already asked her out.
Wait a second, Mom. What exactly did you say?
Well, that maybe we could hang out sometime together.
Well, that seems pretty innocent.
Because my girlfriend moved out of town and I was lonely.
All right, just hang on a second. Saying maybe we could hang out doesn't mean you ask her out on a date.
Yeah. Really?
Absolutely. You got nothing to worry about.
Hey, guys, there's a boy in a tiny suit in there watching TV.
So sorry, I was just coming out. Of the kitchen. I was just coming out of the kitchen.
Look, I have to go anyway, but it's been real.
No, wait a second. This isn't my real family. They're circus people.
All right, Van. I like them. And I'm looking forward to representing you.
What? You be my agent?
Mm-hmm.
This is so great!
Okay, I'm going to start on Van's deal right away, and it was great meeting you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks. I am so glad that's over with. I am never getting myself in that situation again.
Oh, hey, Reba, I almost forgot. How about I pick you up tomorrow night at 8 and we can hang out?
Super.
Where's your mother? It's almost time for her date.
Van, I would stop calling it that and stop singing that song about her and Sadie in a tree.
Did I miss it? Did you take pictures? Oh my gosh, did they look adorable? Oh, Reba, you are definitely going to be the pretty one.
I don't think I can go through with this.
Mom, this is really important for our future, okay? Sadie could take his career to a whole new level.
Sadie's a nice person. I don't like lying to her.
Mrs. H, I know this has been tough on you, but I promise you, the second the deal's done, I will tell Sadie the truth. I don't care what she thinks about me. You are more important to me.
Hey, I've got big news.
What news? Is it about my deal? Is it done? Is it good?
Well, if you consider a 25% raise and an added third year good, then yeah, I'd say it's pretty good.
25% third year?
So it's all done?
It's all done.
We are so rich!
Oh, I'm so happy for you, Van.
Thanks, Mrs. H. Sadie, there's something I need to tell you.
I know, and you're welcome. But you just wait until you see how badly we're going to nail them on your next 3-year deal.
Have a nice dinner.
Yep.
Barbara Jean, could you give us a minute, please?
Oh, sure. Oh, by the way, I have a suggestion on where you guys can go.
I have a suggestion where you can go, too.
I thought gay people were jolly.
Okay, Reba, what's going on?
Well, here's the thing. It's a little bit funny, depending on your sense of humor. You see, I'm a tiny little bit less gay than Van said I was.
Oh, so you're not super gay.
No. I have no powers of gayness whatsoever.
Oh.
I'm sorry. When Van told you that, he was just trying to cover up some lame joke of his.
Yeah, I see. I mean, should have known this happens to me all the time. See, I got no gaydar. How am I supposed to meet women? I got no gaydar, I got no dates, I got nothing. It's because I'm no good. I'm bad. I am a bad lesbian.
Well, for as long as I've been a lesbian, I can tell you, it's not easy.
You know, when you come out of the closet, they never tell you how hard it's going to be. You know, the TV shows and the magazines, they make it look so easy. Oh, yeah, get out in the world, the women are waiting for you. Well, you just look out there and tell me if you see any available women.
Yeah, it's ugly out there.
I don't know, I just get a little lonely sometimes, that's all.
Yeah, I know. Like when your best friend moves away and you think you found someone you could be friends with, but then you blow it by pretending to be gay.
Well, why do you think you blew it?
Well, if you lied to me, I wouldn't want to be friends with you.
Reba, I'm an agent. I'm going to lie to you. Hey, we both lie. That's another thing we have in common.
So I guess that means we can still go to dinner.
Well, I'm going to have to cancel the violinist, and you're going to have to pay your own way.
Hey, you're not the kind of friend who runs off to Jamaica with a nun, are you?
No, won't make that mistake twice.
Wait a second. I don't even wear contacts.
Where are you guys going?
Out to dinner.
Don't wait up.
Oh my gosh. She turned Reba.
Elizabeth's gonna have 2 grandmas.
What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean dismissed with a wave of her hand. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan. No, Reba said flatly. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, pouting slightly. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. Reba raised an eyebrow. Boyfriend, Barbara Jean gasped, her hands flying to her mouth. Oh, whoops, that came out wrong. Reba stared at her, the silence stretching out between them. Oh, Barbara Jean muttered, looking flustered. Well, thanks anyway. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Reba held up her glass. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Later that afternoon, the house was quiet again. Reba was sitting at the kitchen table, enjoying a rare moment of peace, when Barbara Jean reappeared, looking hopeful. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, Reba said, bracing herself for another burst of energy. Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Barbara Jean's face fell in genuine disappointment. Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gymnasium. Reba sighed softly. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Barbara Jean looked torn for a fraction of a second. Skip the gymnasium and eat French food? No confondu bras. With that terrible pun, she bounced out the door, leaving Reba alone once more. Reba slumped in her chair. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gymnasium and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. A deep, worried voice spoke from the doorway. Exactly. Brock, Reba's former husband and Barbara Jean's current husband, stepped into the kitchen. He looked tired, his shoulders slumped under the weight of an invisible burden. Frankly, I like the new rear end, but the new attitude, not so much, Brock muttered, crossing his arms over his chest. Reba looked at him, unable to resist a jab. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old rear end. Brock ignored the insult, too consumed by his own anxiety. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Reba rolled her eyes. Rob, you are overreacting. Oh, really? Brock paced across the kitchen floor. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But... He stopped pacing and looked at Reba with desperate, pleading eyes. That is it. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gymnasium and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me. Reba let out a short, incredulous laugh. No way, you know. Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right? Brock scoffed bitterly. Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Reba softened slightly, seeing the genuine pain in his eyes. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock threw his hands up in the air. Oh, now there is a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba makes me to spy on those. Stupid. He trailed off, unable to form a coherent sentence in his frustration. Meanwhile, outside in the bright afternoon sun, the neighborhood was alive with activity. An elderly neighbor was marching down the sidewalk, arms pumping vigorously. Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you, a voice observed from the porch. Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk? Van leaned against the railing, watching the elderly woman march past. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there is a big sale for false teeth. The older woman shot him a withering look. No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. Van tilted his head, confused. What do you mean? Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin, she replied bluntly. He probably does. Van looked genuinely shocked. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. He paused, clearly struggling with his own metaphor. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. I used to, the woman replied softly. You used to? Van asked, his voice softening. No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Van frowned, crossing his arms. Well, I do not like it. Back inside the house, Reba walked into the living room, finding Brock staring blankly at the television. Where have you been? Brock asked suspiciously. I went to get something to eat, Reba replied simply. Brock sighed, rubbing his temples. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Ben, who was sitting on the floor attempting to fix a broken remote, looked up. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem, and it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Brock leaned forward. Why is this obvious? 2 reasons, Ben stated logically. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba froze. The words echoed in her mind. She would probably even want you to meet him. She looked at Brock, her eyes wide. Meet him? Oh. Reba turned on her heel and marched toward the door. Where are you going? Brock called out. Go down to the gymnasium with the rest of the wackos, Reba shouted over her shoulder. All right, Brock muttered, a glimmer of hope returning to his eyes. Well, keep those arms a-swinging. The fitness center was a sensory overload of loud music, clanking metal, and the unmistakable smell of exertion and expensive cologne. Reba walked through the double glass doors, feeling entirely out of place in her casual day clothes amidst a sea of spandex and perfectly sculpted bodies. Oh, hey, Reba, you came. Barbara Jean's voice rang out over the thumping bass of a pop song. Reba forced a smile. Yeah, man, there is a lot of beautiful people around here. Barbara Jean giggled. You should see them naked in the shower. Reba blinked, deciding not to process that statement. A tall, incredibly fit man with a brilliant smile jogged over to them. Hey! Jordan, Barbara Jean breathed, her posture immediately straightening. Hey! Reba replied, sizing him up. He was exactly as Brock had feared. Young, handsome, and practically glowing with health. Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Jordan asked, his voice smooth and encouraging. Yeah, Barbara Jean nodded eagerly. Hey, you look great in that outfit, Jordan complimented her effortlessly. Barbara Jean beamed. Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. Oh, okay, Jordan. Reba winced slightly at the display. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Barbara Jean finally introduced them. Hey, I am Jordan, he said, extending a hand. I am Reba, she replied, shaking it firmly. So, you going to join us, Reba? Jordan asked, his enthusiasm completely genuine. Oh, I do not know, Reba stammered, taking a step back. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan corrected gently. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, But you guys have got to understand, it has been a while since I have been in a gymnasium like this, and I do not think. Hello. There, Jordan interrupted, focusing his attention back on his client. Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Reba's jaw dropped. Remember when I did not want to? Is that legal? I mean, necessary? It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them. Jordan explained professionally, helping Barbara Jean into a deeply complex stretching pose. Yeah, otherwise you could really hurt something. Turn over, Jordan instructed gently. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Reba watched in horrified fascination as Jordan guided Barbara Jean through a series of stretches that seemed entirely too intimate for a public setting. All right, now this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles, Jordan explained, demonstrating the movement. Really should do this once a day. Barbara Jean let out a contented sigh. Oh, I would do it all day if I could. Reba tugged at her collar, feeling entirely overwhelmed. You know, is this one of these, gymnasiums that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Oh, wow. Time for some weightlifting, Barbara Jean announced, springing up from the mat. Oh, good, Reba muttered. That is enough of that stretching. Jordan clapped his hands together. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah, okay. All right. Reba watched them move to the free weights, the easy camaraderie between them evident in every gesture. You know, I think I have seen enough, Reba announced suddenly, turning to leave. Jordan looked over, slightly confused. So, what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Only if he takes me out to dinner first, Reba shot back dryly. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean called out, entirely oblivious to the tension. Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba paused, looking at the two of them. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba, Jordan noted. You will start with Dot. Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. A massive woman with shoulders like boulders walked over, cracking her knuckles. Hey, get down there. Reba did not wait to find out what Dot had in mind. She practically ran out of the building. Back at the house, Brock was pacing holes into the living room carpet. When Reba finally walked through the door, he pounced. So, did you see him? What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba leaned against the doorframe, catching her breath. He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. Brock stopped pacing, looking confused and terrified. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba sighed deeply, walking over to the couch and collapsing onto the cushions. Look, Brock. I was hoping that I could go down to the gymnasium and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But that is it, Brock whispered, all the color draining from his face. Reba, come on, he pleaded, needing her to finish the sentence. Okay, Reba said slowly. I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock sank into a chair, putting his head in his hands. Man, I knew there was something going on. Just then, the front door opened, and Barbara Jean walked in, still glowing from her workout. Hey, everybody, she sang out happily. I am here, and I am saying well. Oh, hi, honey, Brock said, his voice entirely devoid of warmth. Barbara Jean stopped smiling. Do not you hi honey me. What are you talking about? Oh man, Brock groaned. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean looked genuinely bewildered. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock stood up, pointing an accusing finger at Reba. Reba, tell him what you saw. I do not want to get involved, Reba said quickly, raising her hands defensively. She said you are having an affair, Brock blurted out. Barbara Jean's eyes widened in shock. Any more than I already am. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay, she announced flatly. The silence in the room was absolute. What? Brock asked, his voice squeaking slightly. Barbara Jean turned to Reba, looking deeply offended. Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock choked on empty air. Excuse me. He grabbed your breasts. He is gay, Barbara Jean repeated firmly, as if that explained everything. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned to walk away, but stopped, her shoulders trembling slightly. No, Reba, Barbara Jean said softly, turning back around. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus, she continued, her voice catching. The phallus? Reba asked, confused. The girls, Barbara Jean corrected herself, gesturing vaguely. Oh, the puppies. I am not threatened by you, Reba said firmly, standing up. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, crossing her arms. Yeah, then why did you go down to the gymnasium? What were you spying on me? Reba looked away, guilt washing over her. No. Okay, yes, Reba admitted, throwing her hands up. I went down to the gymnasium because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean asked, her voice cracking. Because you have changed? Reba said, finally speaking the truth that had been bothering her all week. I have not, Barbara Jean protested. Yes, you have, Reba insisted gently. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Barbara Jean stared at her for a long moment before a small, self-deprecating smile touched her lips. Hello? I have always been that way. Brock, who had been quietly observing the exchange, nodded slowly. She kind of got a point there. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean, Reba maintained. Yeah, Barbara Jean agreed softly. The way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. Reba felt a pang of genuine regret. The sudden physical transformation had masked the simple truth that beneath it all, Barbara Jean was still the same loud, well-meaning, exhausting woman she had always been. I know she might be right, Brock murmured, looking down at his shoes. Could be us. I am sorry, honey, Brock said, stepping forward. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba took a deep breath, knowing what she had to do. Look, Barbara Jean. The truth is I think I went down to the gymnasium almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. Barbara Jean looked at her, confused. You know, anything, so I could feel superior to you and your skinny rear end. So, I am sorry. Sorry, Barbara Jean repeated, her eyes suddenly lighting up with an entirely new kind of joy. Yeah, Reba said softly. This is great, Barbara Jean squealed, clapping her hands together. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba quickly corrected her. I do not want to be you. I know. It is even better. You want to look like me. Barbara Jean practically danced out of the room, her confidence entirely restored. Hey, where are you going? Brock called after her. Just going to go grab something to eat, Reba muttered, heading toward the kitchen. I will see you next year. Upstairs, the quiet drama of the household was playing out in a much more intimate setting. Van was sitting on the edge of the bed, flipping lazily through a magazine, while Cheyenne stood in front of the mirror, staring critically at her face, her heart breaking slightly at how fragile his ego had truly become. He was entirely terrified of losing the woman he loved, simply because she had discovered a new sense of confidence. She walked over to him, stopping him gently in his tracks. "Look, Brock," Reba began softly, her voice filled with genuine wisdom and empathy. "If it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then." Brock stared at her, his expression twisting into a mask of pure, indignant disbelief. The suggestion of displaying actual emotional vulnerability was apparently the most ridiculous concept he had ever heard. He let out a harsh, bitter laugh. "Oh, now, there is a great idea," Brock sneered sarcastically, gesturing broadly to himself. "See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny." He turned his back on her, marching angrily toward the front door. He threw his hands up in pure defeat. "Your solutions are ridiculous, Reba. Makes me to spy on those. Stupid." He trailed off, unable to form a coherent sentence in his rage, and slammed the door shut behind him, leaving Reba standing alone in the quiet, peaceful house. She walked slowly back into the kitchen, picking up her glass of the green power smoothie. She stared deeply into the swirling green depths, questioning all of her current life choices. "Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you," she whispered to herself. Chapter 4. The Undercover Mission. Later that evening, Reba was dressed in comfortable athletic gear, fully prepared to embark on her reluctant mission of espionage. She stood by the front door, slipping on her walking shoes, when Van came bounding down the stairs. He stopped on the bottom step, leaning over the wooden railing with a curious expression. "Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk?" Van asked brightly. Reba sighed, tying her shoelaces tightly. The situation with Brock and Barbara Jean had been entirely consuming her thoughts all afternoon. Van did not wait for an answer. He smiled broadly, shaking his head in fond amusement. "Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms." He demonstrated the motion comically, swinging his arms vigorously back and forth, like there is a big sale for false teeth. Reba stood up, placing her hands firmly on her hips. She glared at him, entirely unamused by his generational humor. "No, I am not going for my power walk." She gestured around the house, referring to the heavy atmosphere of paranoia and insecurity that had completely taken over the family. "This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko." Van tilted his head, his brow furrowing in genuine confusion. "What do you mean?" Reba sighed deeply, leaning against the solid wood of the doorframe. She decided to share the burden of the ridiculous secret. "Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin." Van's eyes widened slightly, absorbing the shocking information. However, instead of offering comfort or reason, he simply nodded in complete, solemn agreement. "He probably does." Reba looked at him, completely taken aback by his immediate, unquestioning support of Brock's completely unfounded paranoia. "What are you talking about?" Van stepped down from the stairs, walking toward her with an expression of absolute, terrifying seriousness. He lowered his voice, adopting the tone of a seasoned, worldly philosopher sharing the ultimate secrets of the universe. "Guys are pigs," Van stated definitively. "They are dogs. They are all animals." He paused, letting the profound weight of his words sink in completely. He looked Reba directly in the eyes. "They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs." Reba stared at him, her mind completely boggled by the sheer absurdity of his mixed metaphor. She opened her mouth to correct him, but Van continued his passionate, unsolicited lecture on male psychology. "My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times," Van explained, raising his hands defensively like a boxer preparing for a title fight. "I used to," Van added softly, a sudden wave of melancholy washing over his handsome features. Cheyenne, who had quietly descended the stairs behind him, stopped abruptly on the bottom step. Her heart shattered instantly upon hearing her husband's words. She gripped the wooden railing tightly, her knuckles turning completely white. Reba saw the absolute devastation on her daughter's face. She quickly tried to intervene, waving her hands frantically at Van. "You used to?" Reba repeated loudly, hoping to warn him of the impending emotional disaster standing directly behind him. Van, entirely oblivious to the danger, turned around and finally saw Cheyenne. His eyes widened in absolute panic as he realized the horrible implication of his words. He rushed toward her, his hands outstretched in desperate apology. "No, baby, do not take it like that," Van pleaded, his voice cracking with sheer desperation. "It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all." Cheyenne stared at him, her eyes completely filled with painful, stinging tears. She slowly backed away from him, shaking her head. Her voice trembled slightly when she spoke. "Well, I do not like it." She turned rapidly and ran upstairs, the sound of a slamming bedroom door echoing loudly through the quiet, tense house. Van stood frozen at the bottom of the stairs, running a frantic hand through his hair. He let out a long, heavy sigh. Where have you been?" Reba watched him, feeling a deep wave of sympathy for the foolish young man. She patted his shoulder gently. "I went to get something to eat." Reba walked into the kitchen, finding Ben sitting at the island, peacefully working on his homework. She sat down next to him, the weight of the entire day completely exhausting her. She looked at the young boy, deciding to seek his remarkably sound advice. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer?" Reba asked thoughtfully. Ben looked up from his textbook, pushing his glasses up the bridge of his nose. He considered the complex adult situation with the calm, analytical detachment of a seasoned detective. "Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean," Ben reasoned smoothly, tapping his pencil against the notebook. "But since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem, and it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking." Reba leaned closer, genuinely intrigued by his absolute certainty. "Why is this obvious?" Ben held up one finger, adopting a highly professorial tone. "2 reasons. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets." He held up a second finger. "And she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you." He smiled confidently, resting his chin on his hands. "Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him." Reba froze completely, the memory of Barbara Jean begging her to come to the gym, the slip of the tongue calling him her boyfriend, and the desperate desire for an introduction all came rushing back with terrifying clarity. "Meet him," Reba gasped, her eyes widening in absolute horror. She stood up so quickly that her chair scraped loudly across the floor. "Oh!" Ben watched in surprise as she grabbed her keys from the counter. "Where are you going?" "Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos," Reba declared firmly, marching toward the door with absolute purpose. Ben smiled, waving good boy. "All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging." The fitness center was a massive, brightly lit temple of physical perfection. The air was thick with the scent of rubber mats, sanitizing spray, and profound human exertion. Loud, rhythmic music pumped continuously through the overhead speakers, completely masking the sounds of heavy breathing and clanking metal. Reba walked cautiously onto the main floor, feeling entirely out of place in her simple sweatpants and oversized t-shirt. She looked around, utterly amazed by the sheer volume of incredibly attractive, heavily perspiring individuals actively torturing themselves on complex mechanical devices. "Man, there is a lot of beautiful people around here," Reba muttered softly to herself, her eyes wide as she observed the terrifying level of physical fitness surrounding her. You should see them naked in the shower. She wandered deeper into the facility, scanning the crowded room for the familiar blonde hair of her target. Finally, near the mirrored back wall, she spotted them. Barbara Jean was wearing a bright, incredibly vibrant athletic outfit that perfectly highlighted her newly toned physique. Standing beside her was a tall, incredibly handsome man with perfectly coiffed hair and an alarmingly bright smile. Reba slowly approached them, trying her best to appear entirely casual and entirely unsuspicious. "Hey," she said quietly. The handsome trainer turned around, beaming warmly. "Jordan." Reba nodded slowly. "Hey." Jordan turned back to his enthusiastic client. "Ready to start, Barbara Jean?" Yeah, Barbara Jean replied eagerly, bouncing slightly on the balls of her feet. Jordan looked her up and down, offering a highly complimentary smile. "Hey, you look great in that outfit." Barbara Jean blushed deeply, waving her hand modestly. "Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy." She giggled, pointing a finger playfully at Jordan. "Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas." Oh, okay, Jordan." Reba stared in pure, unadulterated shock. The level of comfort between them was incredibly high, bordering on extremely suspicious. Barbara Jean suddenly noticed Reba standing awkwardly nearby. She gasped joyfully, clapping her hands together. "Jordan, this is my friend, Reba." Jordan stepped forward, extending a firm, perfectly tanned hand. "Hey, I am Jordan." Reba shook his hand cautiously, maintaining a highly guarded expression. "I am Reba." Jordan smiled warmly, gesturing broadly toward the open mat space. "So, you going to join us, Reba?" Reba quickly took a step back, crossing her arms defensively. "Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while." Jordan laughed, shaking his head gently. His white teeth gleamed beneath the bright fluorescent lights. "Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching. You need to sweat a little." Reba felt a sudden wave of extreme anxiety wash over her. She looked around the intimidating room, fully aware of her complete lack of athletic prowess. "Yeah, but you guys have to understand, it has been a while since I have been in a gym like this, and I do not think—" "Hello, there," Jordan interrupted smoothly, completely ignoring her protests. He gently placed his hands on Barbara Jean's shoulders, guiding her firmly down onto the thick blue exercise mat. Reba watched in silent horror as the stretching routine began. The movements were incredibly intimate, entirely crossing the boundary of appropriate professional conduct in Reba's highly suspicious mind. "Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber," Jordan praised softly, adjusting her posture with completely confident, familiar hands. "Remember when you could not put your leg over my head?" Jordan asked casually, shifting his weight slightly. "Remember when I did not want to?" Barbara Jean countered playfully, a bright smile lighting up her face. Reba's jaw dropped completely open. She took a hesitant step forward, pointing a shaking finger at the incredibly compromising position. Is that legal? I mean, necessary?" Jordan looked up, completely unfazed by her obvious horror. "It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them," he explained calmly, his tone strictly professional despite the visual evidence suggesting otherwise. "Yeah, otherwise you could really hurt something." He gently patted Barbara Jean's side. "Turn over." Barbara Jean eagerly complied, rolling gracefully onto her stomach. She looked up at Reba, entirely oblivious to her friend's extreme discomfort. "Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite." Jordan carefully positioned himself directly above her, gently pressing down on her upper back. All right, now this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. He leaned into the stretch, holding the position firmly. Really should do this once a day. Barbara Jean sighed happily, closing her eyes in complete, blissful relaxation. Oh, I would do it all day if I could. Reba frantically fanned herself with her hand, feeling completely overwhelmed by the intense, highly questionable situation. She looked up at the ceiling vents, desperately hoping for a blast of cold air. You know, is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Jordan finally released the stretch, stepping back gracefully from the mat. Oh wow, time for some weightlifting. Reba let out a massive, highly audible sigh of absolute relief. Oh good. She quickly turned away, determined to leave before witnessing anything further. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah, okay. All right. She babbled nervously, walking backward toward the exit. You know, I think I have seen enough. Jordan smiled warmly, wiping his brow with a pristine white towel. So, what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba stopped, offering him a perfectly forced, incredibly tight smile. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. Barbara Jean sat up on the mat, looking deeply concerned by Reba's sudden departure. Are you sure, Reba? Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba looked from the glowing Barbara Jean to the incredibly handsome Jordan. The evidence was completely overwhelming. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Barbara Jean smiled gently, pointing toward a massive, incredibly muscular woman standing near the free weights. The woman looked as though she could effortlessly lift a small truck. Oh, you are a beginner. Reba, you will start with Dot. Dot. Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. Jordan nodded in complete agreement, looking at Reba with genuine professional concern. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. Dot cracked her knuckles loudly, smiling a terrifying, gap-toothed smile. Hey, get down there. Chapter 5, The Confrontation. Reba practically ran out of the fitness center, her mind racing with the absolutely horrific things she had just witnessed. She drove straight home, her hands gripping the steering wheel tightly as she prepared to deliver the completely devastating news to Brock. When she walked through the front door, Brock was pacing frantically in the living room, chewing nervously on his fingernails. He stopped immediately when he saw her, his eyes wide with desperate anticipation. So, did you see him? Brock demanded instantly, rushing toward her. What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba sighed heavily, dropping her purse onto the table. She looked at him with profound pity. He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. Brock frowned, entirely confused by the mysterious reference. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba crossed her arms over her chest, taking a long, deep breath. She had hoped to return with completely reassuring news, but the truth was entirely impossible to ignore. Look, Brock. I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But Brock's face fell completely. His worst fears were entirely confirmed. That is it, he whispered, his voice trembling slightly. Reba nodded slowly, a deep sadness filling her eyes. Reba, come on. Okay. I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock stared at her, the blood completely draining from his face. He clenched his fists tightly at his sides, absolute fury replacing his terrible fear. Man, I knew there was something going on. Before Reba could attempt to calm him down, the front door opened, and Barbara Jean practically skipped into the room, glowing with a beautiful, post-workout radiance. Hey, everybody! Barbara Jean sang out happily. I am here, and I am saying, well. Brock stepped forward, his eyes blazing with absolute anger. "Oh, hi, honey." Barbara Jean stopped instantly, sensing the terrible shift in the room's atmosphere. She looked at him cautiously. "Do not you hi honey me." Brock pointed an accusing finger directly at her face. "What are you talking about? Oh, man. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan?" Barbara Jean looked completely bewildered. She blinked rapidly, looking from Brock to Reba for any sign of explanation. "What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent." Brock scoffed loudly, turning to Reba for crucial backup. "Reba, tell him what you saw." Reba immediately took a massive step backward, entirely unwilling to participate in the terrifying marital crossfire. "I do not want to get involved." Brock ignored her completely, turning back to his wife with absolute, furious certainty. "She said you are having an affair." Barbara Jean gasped in absolute horror, her hands flying to her chest. "Any more than I already am. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair." She stood tall, completely confident in the absolute truth of her defense. She delivered the final, undeniable piece of evidence with complete conviction. "He is gay." The room fell absolutely, entirely silent. Brock stared at her, his anger rapidly deflating into complete, utter confusion. "What?" Barbara Jean turned to Reba, her eyes filled with profound disappointment and hurt. "Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts?" Brock's eyes widened completely in absolute, terrifying shock. "Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts." Barbara Jean rolled her eyes in pure exasperation, clearly tired of explaining entirely innocent situations to highly paranoid individuals. "He is gay. He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives." She turned her back completely on both of them, marching proudly toward the kitchen. Brock stood frozen in place, processing the completely bizarre, entirely unexpected turn of events. He slowly turned to Reba, a sheepish, highly embarrassed smile creeping onto his face. But Barbara Jean was not entirely finished. She stopped in the doorway, turning back with tears rapidly filling her beautiful eyes. "No, Reba. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me." Reba looked genuinely shocked by the sudden, highly emotional accusation. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. Barbara Jean listed proudly, her voice cracking slightly with emotion. Brock frowned, completely lost in the conversation again. "The phallus." "The girls," Barbara Jean clarified quickly, placing a hand over her chest. "Oh, the puppies." Reba quickly shook her head, entirely rejecting the ridiculous premise. "I am not threatened by you." Barbara Jean stepped closer, challenging her entirely. "Really?" "Yeah," Reba confirmed firmly. "Then why did you go down to the gym?" Barbara Jean demanded, her voice rising in sheer, desperate hurt. "What, were you spying on me?" Reba hesitated, completely caught in the terrible trap of her own actions. She looked at Brock, then back to the deeply wounded woman standing before her. She sighed completely, deciding that absolute honesty was the only way forward. "No. Okay. Yes. I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan." Barbara Jean looked entirely heartbroken. "Why would you think that?" Reba took a deep breath, speaking the difficult, entirely complicated truth. "Because you have changed." "I have not," Barbara Jean protested instantly, shaking her head. Reba stepped forward, her voice soft but completely firm. "Yes, you have. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention." Barbara Jean crossed her arms tightly over her chest, completely unfazed by the entirely accurate description of her personality. "Hello? I have always been that way." Brock, who had been watching the exchange silently, nodded slowly in complete agreement. She kind of has a point there. Reba sighed, realizing the absolute truth in the statement. She looked at Barbara Jean softly. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean nodded slowly, wiping a stray tear from her cheek. Yeah, the way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. The absolute vulnerability in her words struck Reba entirely. She looked at Brock, completely recognizing the profound truth in the statement. The problem was not the new Barbara Jean. The entirely massive problem was their complete inability to adjust to her new, terrifyingly confident self. I know she might be right, Reba admitted softly, looking entirely at the floor. Could be us. Brock stepped forward, reaching out entirely to hold his wife's hand. He looked deeply into her beautiful eyes, his voice completely filled with absolute, genuine regret. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba stopped him entirely, raising a hand. She needed to take complete responsibility for her own complicated feelings. She looked directly at Barbara Jean, offering a completely sincere, completely vulnerable apology. Look, Barbara Jean, Reba began slowly, her voice completely genuine. The truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Barbara Jean looked completely entirely stunned. She stared at Reba, entirely processing the absolute, incredible depth of the confession. A slow, incredibly bright smile began to spread completely across her face. Sorry. Barbara Jean repeated, her voice rising completely in absolute, unadulterated joy. Yeah, this is great. She clapped her hands together entirely, bouncing completely on her toes. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba's eyes widened completely in pure horror. She shook her head frantically. I do not want to be you. Barbara Jean ignored her completely entirely, totally lost in the absolute bliss of the moment. I know. It is even better. You want to look like me. She spun around entirely, completely radiant with absolute, entirely terrifying joy. She marched happily toward the stairs, entirely triumphant. Reba watched her completely entirely disappear, letting out a long, heavy sigh. She looked entirely at Brock. Hey, where are you going? Brock smiled entirely, feeling a deep, profound sense of absolute relief. His marriage was completely safe, and his beautiful wife was entirely faithful. Just going to go grab something to eat. I will see you next year. Chapter 6. The True Meaning of Beautiful. Later that perfectly quiet evening, the house finally settled into a state of entirely peaceful calm. The intense drama of the day had entirely passed, leaving behind a completely gentle, highly reflective quiet. Upstairs in their softly lit bedroom, Van walked quietly into the room, completely hoping to entirely mend the completely broken fence with his entirely beautiful wife. He found Cheyenne sitting entirely completely still on the edge of the large bed, entirely staring blankly at the television screen. Van sat down gently entirely beside her, completely careful entirely not to startle her entirely. He leaned forward entirely, looking entirely at the television. Hey buddy, what are we watching? Van asked softly entirely, his voice entirely filled with completely gentle affection. Cheyenne reached out entirely and completely turned off the television. The screen faded entirely to black. No, we are not. She turned entirely to face him, her entirely beautiful eyes completely filled with absolute, completely unresolved hurt. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. She held up her fist entirely, completely challenging him entirely. Van looked entirely at her tightly clenched fist entirely, completely understanding the entirely massive depth of her absolute pain. He smiled entirely gently, entirely completely refusing entirely to play the entirely silly game. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? Van asked entirely completely softly. Cheyenne lowered her hand entirely completely entirely unable entirely to maintain her entirely completely entirely angry facade. She looked away entirely completely, a completely entirely single tear entirely falling completely down her entirely cheek. Get out! Van moved entirely closer, entirely gently wrapping his entirely completely entirely strong arm around her completely entirely shaking shoulders. Hey honey, hey baby, I need to talk to you. Cheyenne leaned entirely completely entirely away slightly, entirely completely entirely wiping her entirely eyes. Oh honey, I just got the TV. Van shook his entirely completely entirely head entirely. His entirely completely entirely expression completely entirely serious and completely entirely devoted. Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest. He looked completely entirely deeply into her entirely completely entirely beautiful eyes. His entirely completely entirely heart entirely completely entirely full of entirely completely entirely absolute love. No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. The morning sun filtered through the kitchen window, casting a warm and golden glow over the countertops. The house was usually a sanctuary of calm at this hour, but today, an unusual tension hung in the air. Cheyenne stood by the kitchen island, her hands resting firmly on the polished wood. She stared at the empty glass containers that usually held their daily seasonings. That woman is out of control, Cheyenne said, shaking her head in sheer disbelief. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Van walked into the kitchen, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. He followed Cheyenne's gaze to the empty containers. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, too, he added, his voice laced with a mixture of awe and concern. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her. Cheyenne immediately took a step back, crossing her arms defensively. No, you tell her. Rock, paper, scissors. Van smirked, a confident glint in his eye. Ben, you know you are going to lose. Ben, who had been sitting quietly at the kitchen table nursing a glass of orange juice, stood up to accept the challenge. He squared his shoulders. Not this time. 1, 2, 3. They threw their hands forward. Van revealed a flat hand for paper, while Ben produced 2 extended fingers for scissors. Van groaned, his confident smirk instantly vanishing. Dang it! How do you always beat me? Because you always pick scissors. Ben smiled, returning to his seat with a triumphant posture. Of course I do, it is my system. So you will tell her? Van sighed heavily, his shoulders slumping in defeat. Yeah, fine. He paused, looking toward the living room where the ravenous guest was currently residing. No, I do not want to. Cheyenne leaned in, her eyes wide with pleading. You tell her. Come on, you tell her. Please, please, please. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Van argued, his voice rising in mild panic. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. By the way, Van turned to Cheyenne, his expression softening into a genuine smile. You have been looking hot lately. Cheyenne blushed, waving a hand dismissively but clearly pleased. Oh, you. Before the debate could escalate any further, Reba entered through the back door. She carried a large, flat cardboard box that radiated the savory scent of melted cheese and baked dough. A triumphant smile graced her face. Look, sweetie, why do I not tell her? Reba offered, setting the heavy box down on the kitchen counter. Thank you. Hey, guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Cheyenne looked at the greasy box and sighed. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the three of us. Reba waved her hand, dismissing the concern with a practical shrug. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Van raised his hand immediately, his eyes locked on the cheese. Oh, dibs. Cheyenne frowned, feeling a sudden wave of health consciousness wash over her. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Reba looked at her daughter, genuinely perplexed. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Suddenly, a loud rustling sound came from the corner of the room. The family dog, affectionately named Mrs. H, had her snout buried deep into a bag of potato chips that had been left near the pantry. All right, that is it, Mrs. H, Reba commanded, marching over to the corner. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. The dog looked up, her innocent brown eyes staring back, a potato chip still dangling from her mouth. Drop it, Reba repeated firmly, gently taking the bag away. She knelt down, looking at the canine with deep emotional concern. Mrs. H, I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? Before Reba could ponder the psychological state of her pet any further, the front door burst open. A loud, cheerful voice echoed through the hallway. Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin. Reba froze. She slowly turned her head. Standing in the doorway was Barbara Jean. The woman was practically unrecognizable. The previously soft, rounded edges of her figure had been completely transformed into a slender, highly toned silhouette. Van's jaw dropped as he took in the sight. Yeah, thin is a stick and dumb is one. Reba blinked rapidly, trying to process the visual information. Yikes, what is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba closed her eyes tightly, wishing with all her might that she was still asleep in her warm, comfortable bed. She opened them again, hoping the vision would disappear. Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare, Reba whispered to herself. But as the kitchen came back into focus, Barbara Jean was still standing there, practically vibrating with enthusiastic energy. Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin, Barbara Jean repeated, twirling around to showcase her newly sculpted physique. Reba sighed heavily, resigning herself to her waking reality. And the nightmare continues. Deep in her heart, Reba felt the familiar rhythm of her chaotic life. My roots are planted in the past, though my life is changing fast. Who I am is who I want to be. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter, I am a survivor. Chapter 2. The Power of Health and Hidden Carbohydrates. The following morning, the atmosphere in the kitchen had shifted entirely from the indulgent pizza fest of the previous day. Reba stood at the counter, a serious expression on her face, operating a loud blender filled with various green vegetables and fruits. Ben walked in, rubbing his stomach, hoping for a traditional morning feast. Mom, make us some pancakes. Reba turned off the blender, pouring the thick, green concoction into a tall glass. No, I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk. Van, who was sitting at the table, could not resist a playful jab. Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. Cheyenne glared at her husband, defending her mother. Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics. Van chuckled, leaning back in his chair. She could shatter her hip. Reba placed the green smoothies on the table, offering a sweet but intensely threatening smile. And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless. Just then, the front door swung open again. It was Barbara Jean, radiating confidence and carrying a large, brightly colored pastry box. "Hey, everybody," Barbara Jean announced, strutting into the kitchen. "I am here and I am." Reba held up a hand, completely exhausted by the grand entrances. "Oh, shut up and have a donut," Barbara Jean gasped, clutching her chest as if she had been physically struck by the suggestion of refined sugar. She looked at the green liquid sitting in front of Reba. "Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates." Reba looked at her glass of blended spinach and apples, feeling slightly defensive. "Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of—" Reba stopped mid-sentence. She noticed that Van and Ben were completely captivated by Barbara Jean's presence. They were staring at her without blinking. "Will you stop staring at her?" Van snapped out of his trance, shaking his head. "What? We have been staring at her for like the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty." Barbara Jean smiled, a blush creeping up her cheeks. "I am pretty." Reba rolled her eyes affectionately. "Well, of course you are. You have always been pretty. But she is new pretty." Cheyenne crossed her arms, clearly annoyed by her husband's wandering eyes. "Oh, Van. That is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife." Van realized his error and desperately tried to recover, turning his attention to Barbara Jean to clarify. "Van, you really think that I am new pretty?" Barbara Jean asked eagerly. "Oh, yeah." Van nodded, trying to sound complimentary but utterly failing to read his wife's anger. "You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry." Barbara Jean beamed. "Thank you." "You are welcome," Van replied proudly, oblivious to the danger he was in. Cheyenne stood up abruptly. "I am going to go make some calls," Cheyenne announced coldly, marching out of the kitchen with heavy, angry footsteps. Van watched her leave, completely confused. He turned back to Barbara Jean, leaning in slightly with an expression of intense curiosity. "So, Barbara Jean, yeah, is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight, you want to do, you know?
Bounce ka bounce.
Hun. Reba scolded, slapping his shoulder with a kitchen towel. Van scrambled up from his chair, finally realizing the magnitude of his mistake. He ran toward the hallway, calling out desperately to his wife. "Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady."
Januari Jan Brady.
Barbara Jean watched the chaotic scene unfold with amusement. She struck a dramatic pose, putting a hand on her hip. "I am Marcia."
Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Turning her attention back to her best friend, Barbara Jean clapped her hands together in excitement. "So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gymnasium and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right." To emphasize her point, Barbara Jean detailed the depth of their connection. "We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see." Reba raised an eyebrow, clearly skeptical of this professional relationship. "Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What has that got to do with you getting in shape?" Barbara Jean waved her hand airily, a dreamy smile on her face. "Oh, nothing. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan." Reba picked up her green power smoothie, taking a hesitant sip. "No." Barbara Jean pouted, stepping closer. "Oh, come on, Reba. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend." "Boyfriend? Oh, whoops. That came out wrong. Oh." Reba suppressed a laugh, enjoying the awkward slip of the tongue. "Well, thanks anyway. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Delicious. Just like fruit gravy." Just as Barbara Jean was about to protest further, her husband, Brock, walked into the kitchen. He looked tired, his shoulders slumped, carrying an air of profound defeat. "Oh, hey, Barbara Jean," Brock said, trying to muster a cheerful tone. "Here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us?" Barbara Jean looked at the clock on the wall and sighed regretfully. "Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gymnasium." Brock stepped closer, reaching out to gently touch her arm. "Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much." Barbara Jean looked genuinely shocked by the proposition. "Really? Skip the gymnasium and eat French food? No confondu brassiere." With a quick kiss on his cheek, she grabbed her gym bag and rushed out the door. Brock stood in the middle of the kitchen, watching the door close. He let out a long, heavy sigh. "Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gymnasium and spend time with Jordan, her trainer." Reba leaned against the counter, nodding sympathetically. "Exactly. Frankly, I like the new but the new attitude, not so much." Brock turned to Reba, a defensive edge creeping into his voice. "Oh, that is really funny coming from the old but. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny." Reba could see the deep insecurity brewing within her former husband. She set her smoothie down. "Rob, you are overreacting." "Oh, really?" Brock paced across the kitchen floor, his hands thrown up in frustration. "Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But that is it. Reba, I need you to help me out." Reba immediately held up both hands, taking a large step backward. She wanted absolutely no part in this marital drama. The request for espionage. Brock stopped pacing and looked directly at Reba with desperate, pleading eyes. "I want you to go down to the gymnasium and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me." "No way," Reba answered firmly, crossing her arms. She looked at Brock, deciding to lay out the cold, hard facts about his current wife. Reba's mental assessment of Barbara Jean. Character trait. Reality check. Impact on marriage. Faithfulness. Extremely high. Ensures absolute loyalty to Brock. Need for attention. Extremely high. Causes exhaustion but not infidelity. Deception skills. Extremely low. Cannot keep a secret to save her life. "You know," Reba continued, softening her tone to provide genuine comfort, "Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful." Brock scowled, entirely unconvinced by Reba's logical assessment. "Yeah, right, up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options." Reba sighed, realizing that logic would not cure Brock's midlife crisis. She decided to offer some sincere, emotional advice. "Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then." Brock let out a loud, bitter laugh, dripping with sarcasm. "Oh, now there is a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny." Reba shook her head, frustrated by his stubbornness. "Your solutions are ridiculous, Reba. Makes me to spy on those. Stupid." She grumbled, grabbing her power smoothie and taking a large, aggressive gulp. "Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you." Chapter 3. The Gymnasium Reconnaissance Mission. Later that afternoon, Reba stood in the living room, dressed in a brightly colored tracksuit that she had not worn in several years. She was lacing up her white athletic shoes. Upstairs, a different kind of reconciliation was taking place. Van was sitting on the edge of the bed in his room, looking nervously at the closed bathroom door. After his disastrous comments earlier in the day, he had been trying desperately to make amends with his wife. The bathroom door creaked open. Cheyenne stepped out. Van's eyes widened in shock. Cheyenne was wearing a bright, platinum blonde wig. It sat unnaturally on her head, completely masking her beautiful, natural hair. She looked entirely uncomfortable but determined. "Hey, honey," Cheyenne said softly, her voice filled with quiet insecurity. Van stood up slowly, entirely bewildered. "Hey, baby, I need to talk to you." Cheyenne walked toward the television, picking up the remote control defensively. "Oh, honey, I just got the television." Van took a step closer, his heart aching at the sight of her trying so hard to change herself for him. "Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest." "No, honey, you are way hot," Van insisted earnestly, feeling a massive wave of guilt for his earlier stupidity. "Guilty?" Cheyenne muttered, looking down at the floor. "But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig." Van reached out gently, placing his hands on her shoulders. He looked deeply into her eyes, stripping away all the foolishness and immaturity that usually clouded his actions. "Cheyenne, put that down," Van said softly, his voice thick with genuine emotion. "Listen to me." Cheyenne looked up, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod," Van explained, his words steady and sincere. Cheyenne frowned slightly, unsure if this was a compliment or an insult. Van smiled warmly, his hands moving to cup her face. "I see my wife, and I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out, or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas." Cheyenne's breath caught in her throat. The heavy weight of insecurity that she had been carrying all day instantly evaporated. "Really?" "Yeah," Van nodded, his eyes locked onto hers with absolute certainty. "You are beautiful to me because of who you are." Cheyenne felt a warm tear slide down her cheek. She let out a soft, self-deprecating laugh. "Ah, I feel kinda stupid." Van leaned in, pressing a gentle kiss to her forehead. "That is also who you are, and I love it." He reached up and carefully pulled the absurd blonde wig off her head, tossing it onto a nearby chair. Her natural, beautiful hair cascaded down her shoulders. Van grinned, a mischievous spark returning to his eye. He took her hand and gently pulled her toward the hallway. "Come on, you." Cheyenne laughed, a genuine, happy sound that filled the room. "Where are we going?" Van wiggled his eyebrows playfully. "Oh, we are going upstairs." Cheyenne stopped, looking around the room in confusion. "Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone." Van pulled her close, wrapping his arms securely around her waist. "Sometimes I want to feel new pretty." Cheyenne smiled, leaning her head against his chest, feeling entirely safe, entirely loved, and completely beautiful just exactly the way she was. The chaos of diets, trainers, and insecurities faded away, leaving only the enduring warmth of their perfectly imperfect family. The morning sun cast a warm golden hue across the spacious kitchen, illuminating the undeniable evidence of a culinary catastrophe. The room, usually a bastion of well-stocked shelves and overflowing fruit bowls, felt starkly barren. Brock paced the length of the hardwood floor, his hands thrown up in exasperation, staring at the decimated remains of their grocery supply. "That woman is completely out of control," Brock declared, his voice a mixture of awe and profound frustration. He gestured wildly toward the empty cabinets. "She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house." He moved over to the kitchen island, his eyes scanning the space as if hoping a stray muffin might magically materialize. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, too. Look at this, he said, picking up 2 small glass containers and shaking them for emphasis. Even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. How does a person even consume that much pepper? Reba, standing near the counter with a steaming mug of black coffee, raised an eyebrow but remained silent. She took a slow sip, enjoying the morning quiet that was rapidly unraveling. Brock turned his pleading gaze toward her. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her, Reba. Reba smoothly lowered her mug, her expression unyielding. No, you tell her. Van, who had been leaning against the refrigerator in quiet contemplation, suddenly perked up. The competitive spirit in him could never resist a challenge. Rock, paper, scissors, Van suggested, his eyes gleaming with misplaced confidence. Reba sighed, setting her mug down entirely. Van, you know you are going to lose. Not this time, Van shot back, rolling up his sleeves and planting his feet firmly. 1, 2, 3. On the count of 3, they both threw their hands forward. Reba presented a solid fist, representing rock. Van proudly displayed 2 fingers, representing scissors. A moment of silence stretched between them as the reality of the outcome settled in. Dang it, Van exclaimed, dropping his hand in defeat. How do you always beat me? Reba offered a soft, knowing smile. Because you always pick scissors, Van. Of course I do, Van defended himself, crossing his arms. It is my system. It has to work eventually. He turned to Reba, a hopeful expression on his face. So you will tell her? Reba shook her head firmly. Yeah, fine. No, I do not want to. Brock resumed his pacing, his anxiety levels rising again. You tell her. Come on, Reba, you tell her. Please, please, please. Reba leaned back against the counter, crossing her arms defensively. No, Brock, why should I tell her? You are the one who is so bothered by it. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. Brock reasoned, trying to employ logic where panic had failed. He paused, looking at Reba appraisingly. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Reba rolled her eyes, completely unaffected by the clumsy flattery. Oh, you. Just as the tension reached its peak, Cheyenne strolled into the kitchen, a bright smile on her face. Look, sweetie, why do I not tell her? She offered, her tone light and breezy. Before anyone could agree, the front door burst open, and in walked Barbara Jean, carrying a large cardboard box that radiated the unmistakable aroma of baked cheese and dough. Thank you, Barbara Jean sang out cheerfully. Hey, 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 guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Brock groaned softly, rubbing his temples. Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Cheyenne stepped forward, her voice gentle but firm. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the 3 of us. Barbara Jean waved off the concern, placing the heavy box onto the kitchen island. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free. Somebody will eat it. Van, whose disappointment over losing the rock-paper-scissors match had vanished at the sight of food, immediately raised his hand. Oh, dibs. Cheyenne looked at Van, then back at her mother, her expression turning serious. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Barbara Jean looked genuinely confused, blinking her eyes rapidly. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Brock, who had reached his absolute limit, stepped forward, pointing an accusing finger at the pizza box. All right, that is it, Mrs. H. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. He moved closer, his voice softening into a tone of deep concern. Drop it, Mrs. H. I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? Chapter 2. The Transformation. The kitchen fell completely silent. Everyone stared at the empty space where the tension had just been thick enough to cut with a knife. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The front door swung open once more, and a voice rang out, clear and entirely unexpected. "You-hoo, I am here, and I am thin." The family turned in unison. Standing in the doorway was not the Barbara Jean they had been arguing about moments before. This woman was slender, radiant, and radiating an overwhelming amount of confidence. Reba muttered under her breath, a dry observation slipping out before she could stop it. "Yeah, thin is a stick and dumb is one." Brock stood frozen, his jaw slightly slack. Yikes! What is eating Cooper grape? Look at that. They look like the number 10. For a fleeting second, the bizarre reality seemed to waver. Brock shook his head, muttering to himself, "Oh, thank God it was just a nightmare." But the hallucination did not fade. The vibrant woman stepped fully into the room, her voice echoing again. "You-hoo, I am here, and I am thin." Reba let out a long, heavy sigh. And the nightmare continues. The transition from the chaotic morning to the present reality was jarring. The family settled into their usual spots, trying to process the dramatic change. Reba, determined to maintain some semblance of order and health, began blending a thick, green concoction in the blender. "Mom, make us some pancakes," Van pleaded, eyeing the green sludge with deep suspicion. "No," Reba stated firmly, turning off the blender and pouring the liquid into a tall glass. "I am making everyone a power smoothie. And this afternoon, I am taking a power walk." Cheyenne chuckled, a light, teasing sound. "Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane." Van nudged his wife gently. "Van, that is not nice. Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip." Reba glared at them both, her grip tightening on her smoothie glass. "And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless." The banter was interrupted as Barbara Jean gracefully floated into the kitchen, looking as though she had just stepped off the cover of a fitness magazine. "Hey, everybody. I am here and I am." "Oh, shut up and have a donut," Reba snapped jokingly, though she kept a firm hold on her healthy drink. Barbara Jean leaned against the counter, eyeing Reba's glass with a mixture of pity and superiority. "Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbs." Reba took a deliberate, defiant sip of her green drink. "Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of limit." Reba stopped, noticing Van and Brock staring openly at Barbara Jean. "Will you stop staring at her?" Brock blinked, looking slightly dazed. "What? We have been staring at her for like the past 2 hours. Well, she is pretty." Barbara Jean beamed, flipping her hair over her shoulder. "I am pretty." Reba nodded, trying to maintain her patience. "Well, of course you are. You have always been pretty. But she is new pretty." Cheyenne looked at Van, seeking reassurance. "Oh, Van. That is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife." Van realized his error immediately and rushed to recover. "Van, you really think that I am new pretty?" Cheyenne asked, her tone fishing for a compliment. "Oh, yeah," Van said quickly, turning his attention to Cheyenne. "You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry." Cheyenne smiled brightly. "Thank you." "You are welcome," Van replied, clearly relieved to have dodged an argument. "I am going to go make some calls." He quickly exited the room, leaving the others to navigate the awkwardness. Brock, still struggling to comprehend the new dynamic, stepped closer to Barbara Jean. "So, Barbara Jean, yeah, is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight you want to do, you know,
Bounce ka bounce.
Van popped his head back into the room, clearly scandalized by the comment. Van! Brock quickly backpedaled. Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady. January Jan Brady. Reba crossed her arms, shaking her head. I am Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. Chapter 3. The Personal Trainer. The afternoon sun shifted, casting long shadows across the living room. Barbara Jean sat comfortably on the sofa, her posture perfect, her energy seemingly boundless. She turned to Reba with a bright, eager expression. So, Reba, I got an idea, Barbara Jean began, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. You should come down to the gym and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. Reba remained skeptical, sipping the last of her fruit-flavored water. Is that so? Oh, yes, Barbara Jean continued, leaning in closer. We go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Reba raised her eyebrows, clearly confused by the boundaries of this professional relationship. Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What does that got to do with you getting in shape? Barbara Jean waved her hand dismissively, giggling lightly. Oh, nothing. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan. Reba shook her head firmly. No. Oh, come on, Reba, Barbara Jean pleaded, her eyes widening in a puppy dog expression. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. She gasped, covering her mouth with her hands. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops, that came out wrong. Reba seized the opportunity to exit the conversation gracefully. Oh, well, thanks anyway. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Later that evening, Brock found Barbara Jean adjusting her workout gear in the hallway. He approached her, a hopeful smile on his face. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Barbara Jean looked genuinely apologetic but did not hesitate in her response. Oh, honey, I cannot. I am going to the gym. Brock frowned, his disappointment evident. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Barbara Jean considered it for a moment, then shook her head. Skip the gym and eat French food? No confondu bras. With a quick wave, she hurried out the door. Brock stood in the hallway alone, feeling entirely defeated. He walked into the kitchen where Reba was cleaning up. Man, she blew me off again, Brock complained, running a hand through his hair. All she wants to do is go down to the gym and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Exactly. He paced the length of the kitchen, his voice laced with insecurity. Frankly, I like the new but the new attitude not so much. Reba could not help but chuckle. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old but. Brock ignored the jab, his mind racing with paranoid thoughts. Jordan is so great. Jordan is so toned and funny. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Rob, you are overreacting, Reba said calmly, drying a plate with a towel. Oh, really? Brock shot back, his voice rising in panic. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Barbara Jean with her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, better looking and younger. But he stopped pacing and planted his feet in front of Reba, a desperate look in his eyes. That is it. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gym and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me. Reba stared at him, utterly appalled by the suggestion. No way, you know. Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right? Brock scoffed softly. Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock considered this for a moment before rejecting the idea entirely. Oh, now there is a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba, makes me to spy on those stupid. Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you. Meanwhile, Van walked into the room, observing the strange tension. Hey, Mrs. H, you off for your power walk? He watched an elderly neighbor passing by the window. Man, I love old people. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there is a big sale for false teeth. Reba sighed heavily, grabbing her coat. No, I am not going for my power walk. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. What do you mean? Van asked, genuinely curious. Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. He probably does. Van nodded sagely, adopting a deeply serious expression. What are you talking about? Guys are pigs. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. He looked at Reba with intense earnestness. My point is that when you got a hot lady, you got to keep your guard up at all times. I used to, Reba muttered. You used to? Van asked, taken aback. Reba quickly corrected herself. No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Van crossed his arms, looking completely unconvinced. Well, I do not like it. Just then, Brock walked back into the room, looking suspicious. Where have you been? I went to get something to eat, Van replied defensively. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, Van reasoned logically. But since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem, and it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Reba leaned in, interested despite herself. Why is this obvious? 2 reasons, Van explained, holding up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba froze, the realization hitting her like a ton of bricks. Barbara Jean had practically begged her to meet Jordan earlier that day. Meet him? Oh, where are you going? Reba grabbed her purse, heading toward the door with newfound determination. Go down to the gym with the rest of the wackos. Van waved her off cheerfully. All right, well, keep those arms a-swinging. Chapter 4. The Gym Reconnaissance. The local fitness center was a symphony of clanking iron, rhythmic upbeat music, and the heavy breathing of people determined to change their physical forms. Reba walked through the double glass doors, feeling entirely out of place in her casual day wear amid a sea of spandex and athletic mesh. She scanned the expansive room. Man, there is a lot of beautiful people around here, she muttered to herself. You should see them naked in the shower. A voice called out from near the free weights. Hey, Jordan. Hey. Reba followed the sound and spotted Barbara Jean, looking incredibly flexible and focused. Standing beside her was a tall, incredibly fit man with perfectly styled hair and a dazzling smile. Ready to start, Barbara Jean? The man asked. Yeah, Barbara Jean replied breathlessly. Jordan looked at her appreciatively. Hey, you look great in that outfit. Barbara Jean giggled, pulling slightly at her top. Oh, well, you know, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. She noticed Reba approaching and let out a small squeal of excitement. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. Oh. Okay, Jordan, This is my friend, Reba. Jordan turned to Reba, flashing a perfectly white smile and extending a muscular hand. Hey, I am Jordan. Reba shook his hand cautiously. I am Reba. So, you going to join us, Reba? Jordan asked, his tone inviting and energetic. Reba took a step back, shaking her head quickly. Oh, I do not know. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Jordan crossed his arms, looking gently reproachful. Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys got to understand, Reba stammered, feeling increasingly uncomfortable under the fluorescent gym lights. It has been a while since I have been in a gym like this, and I do not think. Hello, there. Jordan suddenly directed his attention back to his client. Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Barbara Jean laughed loudly, a sound of pure joy. Remember when I did not want to? Reba stared in absolute shock as Jordan began assisting Barbara Jean with a highly complex and incredibly intimate-looking stretching routine. Is that, legal? Reba asked, her voice tight. I mean, necessary? Jordan did not look up from his work, his focus entirely on the physical form. It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them. Yeah. Otherwise, you could really hurt something. He gently guided Barbara Jean into a new position. Turn over. Barbara Jean looked at Reba with a wide smile. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Jordan positioned himself to apply pressure to her upper back. All right, now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I would do it all day if I could. Barbara Jean sighed happily, her eyes closed in relaxation. Reba felt a bead of sweat roll down her forehead. The visual before her was entirely too compromising to be strictly professional, at least to her untrained eye. You know, is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high? She asked, fanning herself with her hand. I am sweating. Okay. Oh, wow. Jordan finally stepped back, clapping his hands together. Time for some weightlifting. Oh, good. Reba breathed a heavy sigh of relief. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah. Okay. All right. She took another look at the sheer physicality of the environment. You know, I think I have seen enough. Jordan smiled warmly at her. So, what do you think? You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Reba forced a polite smile. Only if he takes me out to dinner first. Barbara Jean walked over, wiping her forehead with a small towel. Are you sure, Reba? Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba looked from Barbara Jean to Jordan and back again. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Jordan gestured toward the other side of the gym room. Oh, you are a beginner, Reba. You will start with Dot. He raised his voice, shouting over the loud music. Dot. Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. A massive, incredibly muscular woman with a stern expression marched over. Hey, get down there, Dot ordered, pointing at a blue exercise mat on the floor. Reba swallowed hard, realizing her reconnaissance mission had just taken a very physical and painful turn. Chapter 5: The Confrontation. An hour later, Reba returned home, every muscle in her body aching with a dull, unfamiliar pain. She walked stiffly into the living room, where Brock was waiting anxiously, pacing back and forth across the carpet. So, did you see him? Brock demanded immediately, his eyes wide with paranoid anticipation. What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him? Reba groaned, slowly lowering herself onto a sturdy wooden dining chair. He is big, but he is not as big as Dot. Brock was not to be deterred. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba hesitated, choosing her words carefully as she massaged her sore shoulder. Look, Brock. I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But that is it. Reba, come on. She took a deep breath, looking him squarely in the eye. Okay, I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock's face contorted in absolute horror and validation. Man, I knew there was something going on. At that exact moment, the front door swung open and Barbara Jean glided into the house, looking refreshed and energized from her workout. Hey, everybody. I am here and I am saying, well, unei. Brock stood tall, his chest puffed out in righteous indignation. Do not you hi honey me. Barbara Jean stopped in her tracks, her cheerful demeanor fading into deep confusion. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Brock said, shaking his head dramatically. Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan? Barbara Jean's eyes widened in sheer disbelief. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Brock turned to Reba, gesturing wildly. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba immediately shrank back in her chair, wishing she could disappear into the upholstery. I do not want to get involved. She said you are having an affair? Brock stated flatly, crossing his arms over his chest. Barbara Jean scoffed, a sound of pure indignation. Any more than I already am. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay. The room plunged into sudden, absolute silence. Brock's arms dropped slowly to his sides. What? Barbara Jean looked from Brock to Reba, her expression a mix of anger and insult. Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Brock choked on air, taking a step backward. Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts? He is gay. He was not touching them, Barbara Jean clarified emphatically, her hands moving in small, precise motions to demonstrate. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned away, deeply hurt by the accusation. No, Reba. Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. Reba sat up straight, defensive, instinctively kicking in. The slim waist, the toned legs, the fellas. The fellas? The girls. Oh, the puppies. I am not threatened by you. Really? Barbara Jean challenged, stepping closer. Yeah, then why did you go down to the gym? What were you spying on me? Reba looked away, the guilt suddenly heavy in her chest. No. Okay. Yes. I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean asked, her voice cracking slightly with genuine emotion. Because you have changed, Reba admitted, her voice low. I have not, Barbara Jean insisted, shaking her head firmly. Yes, you have, Reba pushed back, standing up slowly to face her friend. Ever since you lost all that weight, you are pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. There was a pause before Reba added softly, almost to herself, Hello? I have always been that way. Brock chimed in quietly from the sidelines. She kind of got a point there. Reba nodded, acknowledging the truth. Yeah, well, something has changed, Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean looked at the two of them, a profound sadness replacing her anger. Yeah, the way you guys look at me, I am still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I am just less winded. The silence that followed was heavy with realization. Brock looked down at his feet, shame finally creeping into his posture. I know she might be right. Could be us. He looked up at his wife. I am sorry, honey. Reba just got me all worked up. That is. Reba held up a hand, stopping his excuse. Look, Barbara Jean. The truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I would find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So, I am sorry. Barbara Jean stared at Reba, her eyes slowly widening as a completely different interpretation of the apology formed in her mind. Sorry. Yeah, Reba said, offering a small, apologetic smile. A massive, brilliant smile broke across Barbara Jean's face, completely erasing the previous tension. This is great. For the first time since we have known each other, you want to be me. Reba stepped back, alarmed by this wild misinterpretation. I do not want to be you. I know, Barbara Jean squealed, clasping her hands together in pure joy. It is even better. You want to look like me. Hey, where are you going? Reba was already moving quickly toward the kitchen, desperate for an escape. Just going to go grab something to eat. I will see you next year. Chapter 6, True Beauty. Later that evening, the house had finally settled into a peaceful quiet. The frantic energy of the day, fueled by misunderstandings and insecurities, had burned itself out. Van walked into the darkened living room and plopped down onto the sofa beside Cheyenne. He reached for the remote control. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? Cheyenne quickly snatched the remote away. No, we are not. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Let us go. Van sighed heavily, knowing his terrible track record. You are going to pick scissors, are not you? Get out. Cheyenne laughed, swatting him gently on the arm. Hey, honey, Van said, his tone shifting to something softer, more sincere. Hey, baby, I need to talk to you, Cheyenne replied, putting the remote down on the coffee table. Oh, honey, I just got the television. Van turned his body to face her fully, his expression completely serious. Well, I started thinking that maybe you do not think of me as new pretty because I do not do enough to keep your interest. Cheyenne's eyes widened in surprise. No, honey, you were way hot. Guilty. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig. She reached behind the sofa cushion and produced a remarkably bright, unnatural-looking blonde wig. Van gently reached out and pushed the wig down back onto the sofa. Cheyenne put that down. Listen to me. He took both of her hands in his, looking deep into her eyes. The room was quiet, the only sound the distant hum of the refrigerator. I think it is a good thing that when I look at you, I do not see the beautiful girl with the killer bod. I see my wife, and I am attracted to her whether she is all dressed up, ready to go out or just sitting on the couch wearing those washed-up flannel pajamas. Cheyenne looked at him, her heart swelling with an immense wave of love and profound relief. Really? Yeah, Van said softly, a gentle smile playing on his lips. You are beautiful to me because of who you are. Cheyenne let out a small, self-deprecating laugh, a tear glistening in the corner of her eye. Ah, I feel kinda stupid. Van leaned forward, pressing a soft, tender kiss to her forehead. That is also who you are, and I love it. Come on, you. Where are we going? Cheyenne stood up, pulling him along with her, a mischievous twinkle returning to her eye. Oh, we are going upstairs. Van followed eagerly, pretending to protest. Hold on. I thought you did not want me to leave you alone. Cheyenne glanced back over her shoulder, a radiant smile on her face that required no makeup, no wig, and no gym membership to validate. Sometimes I want to feel new pretty. The morning sun filtered through the sheer curtains of the kitchen window, casting a warm, golden glow over the worn oak table. It was a typical morning in the household, filled with the comforting scent of freshly brewed coffee and the familiar, chaotic energy of a family that loved fiercely, even when they drove each other completely insane. Reba stood by the counter, a steaming mug cradled in her hands, watching her daughter, Cheyenne, and her son-in-law, Van, bicker with the kind of affectionate exasperation that only young married couples possessed. That woman is out of control, Cheyenne declared, leaning against the refrigerator with a dramatic sigh. Her blonde hair fell in soft waves over her shoulders, framing a face that was a mirror image of her mother's, albeit unburdened by the years of raising a deeply eccentric blended family. She is like a locust. She has eaten everything in the house. Van, tall and perpetually possessing the energy of a golden retriever, gestured wildly toward the empty cupboards. She has eaten everything in Mr. H's house, too. Look, even the salt and pepper shakers are empty. Why do you not just tell her she has eaten too much? You tell her, Cheyenne. No, you tell her. Cheyenne shot back, crossing her arms. Rock, paper, scissors. Ben, you know you are going to lose. Ben, Reba's youngest son, looked up from his empty cereal bowl with a look of pure determination. Not this time. 1, 2, 3. The three of them threw their hands out simultaneously. Cheyenne held her hand flat for paper, Van had a fist for rock, and Ben, predictably, held up 2 fingers for scissors. Dang it, Ben groaned, throwing his head back. How do you always beat me? Because you always pick scissors, Cheyenne said, an amused smirk playing on her lips. Of course I do, it is my system, Ben muttered, thoroughly defeated. Cheyenne turned her attention back to her husband. So you will tell her? Yeah, fine, Van said, puffing out his chest before immediately deflating. No, I do not want to. You tell her. Come on, you tell her. Please, 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 Cheyenne begged, giving him the wide-eyed look that usually worked wonders. No, Ben, why should I tell her? Van asked, looking for an ally. Because girls can say that kind of stuff without having to come across like all they care about are looks. Ben reasoned, possessing a surprising amount of wisdom for a boy his age. He paused, looking at his sister. By the way, you have been looking hot lately. Cheyenne beamed. Oh, you. Reba took a slow sip of her coffee, the warm liquid grounding her. She loved her children, but watching them try to avoid confrontation was like watching a slow-motion train wreck. Look, sweetie, why do I not just tell her? Reba offered, her voice calm and laced with the gentle authority of a matriarch who had seen it all. Thank you, Cheyenne and Van chorused in unison, visibly relieved. Just then, the front door burst open, and Reba's mother walked in, carrying a large, flat cardboard box with an air of absolute triumph. Hey, 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 guess who Luigi gave the free pizza to? Luigi does not have to roll it out of the bed every morning. Reba sighed, setting her mug down. You know, Mom, we really do not need another pizza. I mean, it is really just the 3 of us right now. Oh, I know, but I had to take it. It was free. Her mother insisted, placing the box on the kitchen island as if presenting a rare artifact. Somebody will eat it, Van said, his eyes lighting up. Oh, dibs. Reba looked at the greasy box and then at her family. You know what, Mom? I am thinking maybe we should all try and get a little healthier around here. Her mother looked at her as if she had just spoken a foreign language. What are you talking about? I am very healthy. Before the debate could continue, the sound of a familiar, bubbly voice echoed from the driveway. It was Barbara Jean, the woman who had inadvertently turned Reba's life upside down years ago by marrying her ex-husband, Brock, yet had somehow, inexplicably, become a permanent fixture in her living room. All right, that is it, Mrs. H., Van said, adopting a protective stance in front of the empty pantry. Drop it, Mrs. H. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Mrs. H., I cannot stand to see you do this to yourself, Van continued, his voice dripping with dramatic concern. It is like you are trying to eat yourself to death. Why? What happened to you? What is different? The front door swung wide open. You who? I am here, Barbara Jean announced, stepping into the entryway. She paused for effect, striking a pose. And I am thin. Silence fell over the kitchen. Reba stared. Cheyenne stared. Van's jaw dropped slightly. Barbara Jean was, indeed, significantly smaller than the last time they had seen her. She was wearing a brightly colored athletic outfit that clung to a completely new silhouette. "Yeah, thin as a stick, and dumb as one," Ben whispered, earning a subtle nudge from Cheyenne. "Yikes, what is eating Cooper grape?" Van muttered under his breath, his eyes wide. "Look at that. They look like the number 10. Reba blinked hard, rubbing her temples. "Oh, thank God. It was just a nightmare," she murmured to herself. "Yoo-hoo, I am here, and I am thin," Barbara Jean repeated, shimmying into the kitchen, oblivious to the stunned silence. "And the nightmare continues," Reba muttered, taking another long, desperate drink of her coffee. Chapter 2, The Power Smoothie Era. The days following Barbara Jean's grand reveal were an exercise in patience for Reba. The kitchen had transformed from a place of comforting aromas to a sterile laboratory of health food. The cheerful melody of Barbara Jean singing a tune about her life changing fast, being a survivor, and having the heart of a fighter seemed to echo constantly in Reba's mind. It was inspiring, perhaps, but at 7 in the morning, Reba just wanted peace. "Mom, make us some pancakes," Ben pleaded one morning, looking mournfully at the empty stovetop. "No," Reba said firmly, pulling a massive blender out from the cabinet. "I am making everyone a power smoothie, and this afternoon, I am taking a power walk." Van walked in, catching the tail end of the conversation. "Power walk? Oh, forget your power cane. Van, that is not nice," he said, mimicking Cheyenne's voice before answering himself in his own. "Mom does aerobics. She could shatter her hip." Reba shot him a withering glare. "And yet, in the blink of an eye, I can make you both homeless." Van instantly went quiet, offering a meek, apologetic smile. The door flew open once again. "Hey, everybody, I am here and I am." Barbara Jean started, posing in yet another pristine, neon workout ensemble. "Oh, shut up and have a donut," Reba snapped, handing her a blender cup filled with a suspiciously green liquid. Barbara Jean peered into the cup, wrinkling her nose. "Oh, Reba, you are not still trying to lose weight by drinking those power smoothies, are you? Jordan, my trainer, says that those are loaded with hidden carbohydrates." Reba gripped the counter edge, her knuckles turning white. "Barbara Jean, I am all for adopting a healthy new lifestyle, but seriously, I mean, there has to be some sort of limit." She noticed Van and Ben staring openly at Barbara Jean. "Will you stop staring at her?" "What?" Van asked, blinking innocently. "We have been staring at her for, like, the past 2 hours." "Well, she is pretty," Ben offered with a shrug. "I am pretty," Cheyenne chimed in, walking into the kitchen and sensing the shift in the room's energy. "Well, of course you are," Van said quickly, rushing to his wife's side. "You have always been pretty, but she is new pretty." Cheyenne's face fell, her eyes narrowing. "Oh, Van, that is such a funny story you can tell to your next wife." Van panicked, realizing his misstep. "Van, you really think that I am new pretty?" Barbara Jean asked, fluttering her eyelashes, utterly delighted by the compliment. "Oh, yeah," Van said, trying to recover and failing miserably. "You are like a bleached-out Halle Berry." "Thank you," Barbara Jean beamed. "You are welcome," Van said, before turning to a seething Cheyenne. "I am going to go make some calls." He quickly retreated from the kitchen. Ben leaned forward, his curiosity getting the better of him. "So, Barbara Jean, is it true that when you lose a bunch of weight you want to do, you know,
Bounce ka bounce?
Cheyenne yelled toward the hallway, horrified. Van poked his head back in. "Oh, Cheyenne, do not be upset. You are still hot. You are like a bleached-out Jan Brady." "Jan?" Cheyenne repeated, her voice reaching a dangerous pitch. "Jan Brady? I am Marcia."
Marcia, marcia, marcia.
She stormed out of the kitchen, leaving a trail of absolute indignation in her wake. Barbara Jean turned to Reba, completely unaffected by the marital crisis blooming in the hallway. So, Reba, I got an idea. You should come down to the gymnasium and meet Jordan, my trainer. Seriously, he will change your life. I mean, he is so much more than a personal trainer. He taught me how to work out and eat right. Is that so? Reba asked, politely unimpressed. Yes, we go over the clothes I am going to wear, the movies I am going to see. Barbara Jean gushed, her eyes sparkling with adoration. Reba raised an eyebrow. Whoa, the movies you are going to see? What does that have to do with you getting in shape? Oh, nothing, Barbara Jean giggled. We just have the same sense of humor. That Tim Allen just kills us. I mean, whether he is playing a dog or Santa Claus, you just buy it. So, you will come meet Jordan. No, Reba said flatly. Oh, come on, Reba. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend, Barbara Jean pleaded. Then her eyes widened as she caught her own words. Boyfriend? Oh, whoops, that came out wrong. Reba stared at her, a mixture of concern and utter disbelief washing over her. Oh, well, thanks anyway. But I am just going to be here with my smoothie. Delicious, just like fruit gravy. Just then, Brock wandered into the kitchen. He looked tired, his shoulders slumped slightly. Oh, hey, Barbara Jean, here you are. Listen, how would you like to go out and grab a quick lunch? Just the two of us. Oh, honey, I cannot, Barbara Jean said cheerfully, patting his arm. I am going to the gymnasium. Brock's face fell. Well, cannot you skip it just this once? Come on. I will take you to that romantic French place you like so much. Really? Skip the gymnasium and eat French food? No confondu, brah, she said, grabbing her water bottle and practically skipping out the door. Brock watched her leave, a deep sigh escaping his lips. Man, she blew me off again. All she wants to do is go down to the gymnasium and spend time with Jordan, her trainer. Exactly. Frankly, I like the new behind, but the new attitude not so much. Reba could not help the sarcastic smile that crept onto her face. Oh, that is really funny coming from the old behind. Chapter 3, The Seeds of Suspicion. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across Reba's living room. Brock was pacing back and forth, rubbing the back of his neck, the picture of a man entirely consumed by anxiety. Reba sat on the sofa, trying to read a magazine, but Brock's relentless pacing was making it impossible. Jordan is so great, Brock mocked, adopting a high-pitched, breezy tone that sounded nothing like his wife. Jordan is so toned and funny. He stopped pacing and looked at Reba. Well, I have news for you. Nobody is toned and funny. Brock, you are overreacting, Reba sighed, putting her magazine down on the coffee table. Oh, really? Brock challenged, his voice rising in panic. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair with this guy. Reba stared at him, genuinely surprised. Barbara Jean? With her trainer? I mean, sure, he is probably a better man than you are, Brock continued, pacing again. Better looking and younger, but that is it. Reba, I need you to help me out. I want you to go down to the gymnasium and see if there is anything going on. You know, spy on him for me? Brock added, looking at her with pleading eyes. No way, Reba said immediately, shaking her head. You know, Barbara Jean may have a long list of faults, and I have that list if you need a copy. But she is nothing if not faithful. Yeah, right, Brock scoffed. Up until now. But now that she is thin and hot, she has all kinds of options. Reba felt a pang of sympathy mixed with deep irritation. Look, Brock, if it is worrying you that much, be honest with her. Tell her how you feel. Tell her that you just need a hug every now and then. Brock looked at her as if she had suggested he walk on the moon. Oh, now there is a great idea. See? Why, since my competition is a macho, muscular dude, I should go the other way and appear all weak and whiny. Your solutions are ridiculous. Reba, making me spy on those stupid things. Later that day, Van walked into the living room, catching Reba staring thoughtfully out the window. Hard to believe they are supposed to be good for you, Van commented, looking at the fruit basket on the table. Hey, Mrs. H, are you off for your power walk? No, I am not going for my power walk, Reba sighed. This whole physical thing is getting everybody acting wacko. Man, I love old people. Van chuckled to himself, completely missing Reba's tone. Power walking, moving along, swinging their arms, like there is a big sale for false teeth. Reba ignored the slight. What do you mean by wacko? She asked, leaning back against the windowsill. Well, your dad thinks that the guy who gave Barbara Jean her new body is wanting to take a forespin. Van explained, entirely oblivious to his own mixed metaphors. He probably does. What are you talking about? Reba asked, crossing her arms. Van leaned in conspiratorially. Guys are pigs. They are dogs. They are all animals. They just care about hot women. They are hot dogs. My point is that when you have a hot lady, you have to keep your guard up at all times. I used to, Reba murmured quietly, a fleeting shadow of old hurt passing over her face. You used to? Van asked, realizing his blunder. No, baby, do not take it like that. It is just that I have grown into a mature, stable individual. That is all. Cheyenne marched into the room, her arms crossed tight over her chest, glaring at Van. Well, I do not like it. Reba hummed, watching the young couple. Where have you been, Cheyenne? I went to get something to eat, Cheyenne mumbled, still glaring at her husband. Ben walked into the room, tossing a baseball up and down. Reba looked at her youngest son. So, Ben, you think that Brock might be right about this trainer? Ben caught the ball and thought for a moment. Sure, this guy could be hot for Barbara Jean, but since Barbara Jean is not looking to play, there is no problem, and it is obvious Barbara Jean is not looking. Why is this obvious? Reba asked, genuinely curious. 2 reasons, Ben stated, holding up 2 fingers. Barbara Jean is not good at keeping secrets, and she thinks of you as her best friend. If she were fooling around with this guy, she would be constantly talking about him to you. Heck, she would probably even want you to meet him. Reba's eyes widened as the realization hit her like a freight train. I want my best girlfriend to meet my best boyfriend. The words echoed ominously in her head. Meet him, Reba gasped, grabbing her purse from the counter. Oh, where are you going? Van called out as she hurried toward the front door. To go down to the gymnasium with the rest of the wackos, Reba called back over her shoulder. All right, Van yelled after her. Well, keep those arms a-swinging. Chapter 4. Into the Lion's Den. The local fitness center was a sensory overload of neon spandex, clanking metal, and thumping electronic music. Reba stood just inside the glass doors, feeling entirely out of place in her casual denim and cotton blouse. The air smelled of expensive sports drinks and manufactured sweat. Man, there is a lot of beautiful people around here. A passerby muttered to a friend as they walked past Reba. You should see them naked in the shower. Reba grimaced, pulling her purse tighter against her side. She scanned the cavernous room, looking for a familiar mop of blonde hair. Finally, she spotted her near the free weight section. Barbara Jean was lying on a padded mat, and standing over her was a man who looked like he had been chiseled out of marble. He was tall, impossibly tan, and possessed a smile that belonged on a billboard. This had to be Jordan. Reba took a deep breath and marched over. Oh, hey, Reba. You came, Barbara Jean said brightly, craning her neck to look up from the floor. Yeah, Reba said, keeping a respectable distance. Hey! The man turned, flashing his brilliant white teeth. Jordan. Hey, Reba replied, sizing him up. He was undeniably attractive. Exactly the kind of man that would send Brock into a spiral of insecurity. Ready to start, Barbara Jean? Jordan asked, his voice smooth and encouraging. Yeah, Barbara Jean replied eagerly, standing up. Hey, you look great in that outfit, Jordan complimented her, adjusting a strap on her shoulder. Barbara Jean giggled, blushing deeply. Oh, well, the other woman is getting kind of baggy. She gestured toward Reba, completely lacking self-awareness. Can you believe her? She did the impossible. She lost all that weight and kept these fellas. Reba's eyes widened in horror as Barbara Jean proudly gestured to her own chest. Oh, okay, Jordan, Reba stammered, frantically waving her hands to change the subject. Jordan, this is my friend, Reba. Hey, I am Jordan, he said, extending a strong, calloused hand. I am Reba, she replied, shaking it briefly. So, you going to join us, Reba? Jordan asked, gesturing to the mat. Oh, I do not know, Reba said quickly, taking a step back. I just think that me and my fellows will just watch for a while. Well, Reba, you are not going to get into shape by just watching, Jordan encouraged, picking up a towel. You need to sweat a little. Yeah, but you guys have to understand, it has been a while since I have been in a gymnasium like this, and I do not think, Reba started, but her voice trailed off as she watched Jordan gently guide Barbara Jean back onto the mat. Hello, there. Barbara Jean, you really are getting limber, Jordan praised, his hands guiding her leg into a stretch that looked physically impossible. Remember when you could not put your leg over my head? Jordan asked cheerfully. Remember when I did not want to? Barbara Jean laughed, breathless. Reba stared, her mouth hanging slightly open. The position was incredibly intimate. Is that legal? Reba blurted out. I mean, necessary? It is critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them, Jordan explained, not missing a beat. Yeah, otherwise you could really hurt something. Turn over. Barbara Jean flipped onto her stomach. Reba, you need to watch this one. This one is my favorite. Jordan knelt beside her, placing his hands firmly on her back. All right, now, this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I would do it all day if I could, Barbara Jean sighed blissfully. Reba felt a bead of sweat roll down her neck. Is this one of these gymnasiums that has the heat on real high? I am sweating. Okay. Oh, wow. Jordan stood up, clapping his hands together. Time for some weightlifting. Oh, good. Reba breathed a sigh of relief. That is enough of that stretching. Hello. Okay. Knock this out. Yeah. Okay. All right. Reba watched them move to the machines, her mind racing. Brock was right. The touching, the laughing, the incredibly inappropriate stretching. It all looked terribly suspicious. She felt a knot form in her stomach. She did not want Barbara Jean to ruin her marriage, even if part of her still harbored resentment toward the woman. I think I have seen enough, Reba announced abruptly, turning on her heel. So, what do you think? Barbara Jean called after her. Do you have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Only if he takes me out to dinner first, Reba shot back. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean asked, jogging over to her. Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I have ever had. Reba looked at her, searching for any sign of deceit, but Barbara Jean's face was completely earnest. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you are a beginner. Reba? Jordan chimed in, walking up behind Barbara Jean. You will start with Dot. Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I would spend some extra time on the stretching. Hey, get down there. Reba turned to see an enormously muscular woman, easily twice Reba's size, cracking her knuckles with a terrifying smile. Reba did not wait to find out what Dot's stretching routine looked like. She practically sprinted for the exit. Chapter 5. Confrontation and Confession. Reba marched back into her house, exhausted, sweaty, and utterly stressed. Brock was waiting in the living room, practically vibrating with nervous energy. "So, did you see him?" Brock demanded the moment the door closed. "What is he like? Is he little? Could I take him?" Reba dropped her purse on the sofa with a heavy thud. "He is big, but he is not as big as Dot." Brock looked confused. "So, what do you think? Is there something going on there?" Reba took a deep breath, looking her ex-husband in the eyes. She hated being the bearer of bad news, especially when the news confirmed his worst fears. "Look, Brock, I was hoping that I could go down to the gymnasium and check things out and come back and tell you that there is nothing to worry about. But..." "That is it," Brock interrupted, his face falling. "Reba, come on." "Okay," Reba continued gently. "I do not know if they are having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby." Brock sank into the armchair, burying his face in his hands. "Man, I knew there was something going on." Before Reba could offer any words of comfort, the front door swung open. "Hey, everybody," Barbara Jean sang out, practically glowing with post-workout endorphins. "I am here, and I am saying, well..." She stopped, noticing the grim expressions on Reba and Brock's faces. "Oh, hi, honey," Barbara Jean said, her smile faltering slightly. Brock stood up, his face flushed with anger and hurt. "Do not you hi honey me." Barbara Jean looked genuinely bewildered. "What are you talking about?" "Oh man," Brock groaned, pacing the floor again. "Did you honestly think that I would not find out about you and Jordan?" Barbara Jean's eyes widened in shock. "What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent." Brock turned to Reba, desperate for validation. "Reba, tell him what you saw." Reba held up her hands, backing away slowly. "I do not want to get involved." "She said you are having an affair," Brock accused, pointing a trembling finger at his wife. "Any more than I already am," Reba muttered to herself, wishing she could melt into the floorboards. Barbara Jean planted her hands on her newly slim hips, her expression transforming from shock to utter indignation. "Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair. He is gay." The silence in the room was deafening. Brock stopped dead in his tracks. Reba blinked, processing the information. "What?" Brock asked, his voice barely a whisper. "Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts?" Barbara Jean asked, her voice ringing with sheer disbelief. Brock's head snapped toward Reba. "Excuse me, he grabbed your breasts." "He is gay," Barbara Jean reiterated firmly. "He was not touching them. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives." Brock exhaled a massive breath, the tension draining out of him instantly. A foolish grin spread across his face. He was safe. His marriage was safe. He nodded awkwardly at the two women and quickly hurried out of the room, leaving Reba and Barbara Jean alone. Reba stood near the television, feeling incredibly foolish. "Well, that is good news, Barbara Jean."
"No, Reba."
"Everything is not fine," Barbara Jean said, her bubbly demeanor entirely gone, replaced by a deep, surprising sadness. "I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me." Reba scoffed, crossing her arms defensively. "Threatened? I am not threatened." The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. Barbara Jean listed, tears welling in her eyes. "The phallus," Reba repeated, confused. "The girls. Oh, the puppies." "I am not threatened by you," Reba insisted, though her voice lacked its usual conviction. "Really?" Barbara Jean challenged, stepping closer. "Yeah, Then why did you go down to the gymnasium? What were you spying on me? Reba looked away, ashamed. No, she paused, the lie heavy on her tongue. Okay. Yes, I went down to the gymnasium because I thought there was something